Alright. Hi everyone, so we are back with some Lost Odyssey, and Gotemon is very happy about this. She is apparently the spokesperson for Lost Odyssey tonight. Are you the spokesperson for Lost Odyssey tonight? Oh, shit. Hi. Do you have something to say about Lost Odyssey? You over here, looking all pretty and stuff. The baby. Little pooch. You keep hanging out there. Hi. Alright, so I'm looking at a guide. I'm gonna see if I can figure out where exactly, if there's anything special, then I'm like, ooh, maybe I should go and do this. If not, that's fine. There we go. Cool. Alright. Headphones. Stomach's been... As soon as I fucking ate dinner, it's like, ooh. Great problems. Alright. There we go. Me attempting to figure out where the fuck I put everything. Like, part of me is like, do I want to do any, like, special, like, stuff? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling it. So it says a couple of quick treasure hunts. Fuck off. Okay, cool. So this stream is actually going to have dreams. Alright, for the first one, leave Namara Port and return to Ura. Cool, so... I like how they just let you into the city, even though, like, you know, like, oh yeah, like, one of them's supposed to be a dead prince, half of them are, like, you know... We need to go... There, proceed east to Main Street. Cool, so we can go to Main Street. Then go just south of the inn. So there should be a little boy somewhere around here. Probably it. Yep, here we go. Hello. This is for getting an item. Like, apparently the dream unlocks an item that is very helpful for people to go and have. A dream has been revealed. Beyond the wall. The wall is being demolished. Sledgehammers resound on both sides. The wall marked the national border for decades. Until yesterday, border might not be the right word, however. Originally, both sides were part of a single nation. The country became divided owing to differences in ideology, and two sides remained so mutually antagonistic that a high, thick wall had to be built. So, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That's cool. Happy birthday. Those days are gone now. A year ago, the leaders of the two sides shook hands in a historic reconciliation. Today, after much preparation and coordination, the wall that symbolized the two sides' antagonism is being demolished. The sound of hammering signals the end of opposition and extols the beginning of peace. Yeah, that ain't really how it fucking works, usually. Come on, give me a break, says Yugano. spitting on the ground and glaring at the backs of the people swarming at the wall. Look at them, smiling like idiots. Can you believe it? He glances at Kayam by his side as if to say, right? His still boyish face wears a scowl of disgust. Tell me, Kayam, you've been to a lot of different countries, see all kinds of people. Can people just take years of hatred like that and throw it out the window? Kayam gives a sour smile instead of replying. Yukino is a young man. The first that Kayam became friends was shortly after he arrived in the border town. He is pleasant enough except for his stubborn hatred of people from the other side. Them damn other sides. One lousy handshake, I'm out of a job. I mean, really, give me a break. Yukino used to be a border guard. In other words, one of the men assigned to keep watch on the wall. He had volunteered, eager to kill anyone who dared to come over from the wall to the other side. If his superiors had permitted it, he would have gladly crossed over to attack the other side rather than waiting to fend off an invasion. As a mandatory part of the reconciliation, however, the border guards were disbanded. Unlike his brothers in arms, who quickly started new lives for themselves, Yukino was left behind by the changing times. Tell me, Kayam, can people be allowed to just slough off their resentment so easily? Do they just not give a damn? Kayam did not respond to this. He knows that Yukino is a victim of the age of confrontation. Still a young man. A boy, even. Yukino has been thoroughly conditioned since childhood to view the other side as the enemy. Watch out! The other side could attack at any time. Watch out! The other side are all cruel, cold-hearted villains. Watch out! If the other side ever invaded us and occupied our towns, they'd burn down our homes, steal our property, kill our men, and assault our women. The other side is basically just a bunch of rapists, murderers, and shit. Watch out! The day is not far off when they will be invading us. It could be 3 days from now, or it could be tomorrow. They might be climbing the wall today, this very moment. Watch out! They've already sent their spies among us. Oh no, among us! Among us! You can tell for sure they are. They're the ones who extol and sympathize with the other side word by word and by deed. Alright. I think that's cool. Like, I didn't know that. I feel like that's something that should have already had by now. Also, hi, Josuke. Watch out. Okay, I got distracted by Among Us. Watch out, they're probing for the slightest gaps in our psychological armor. Remain alert. We're ready to draw your sword at any moment. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! There is much to be found about the other side in the history books distributed in the schools on the side. The pictures of the people from the other side portrayed them all as ferocious demons. Just some guy. They're just gonna come out and they're just normal motherfuckers. I'm the only one you know. All of us were taught the same. I'm not the only one you know. All of us were taught the same thing. So how come everybody but me is so happy about the wall coming down? Yukino asks, looking utterly bewildered by the new developments. Again and again, he repeats his disbelief. Finally, Kayam cannot help but respond to him. You were too pure, he says. What? It's not your fault, Yukino. It's the ones who filled your pure, honest heart with hatred. It's sussy. Wait a second, Kayam. The animals who live on the other side of the wall are the ones that did that to me. The horrible things they do. Kayam cuts him short. Have they ever done anything horrible to you? Well, sure, no, not to me, but... Just what is you hate the other side for? Well, you see, Yukino was momentarily at a loss for words until all he could do is raise his voice and blurt out. It's true, though. The whole bunch of them are just horrible people. He folds his arms in a decided pout. How are they horrible? What did you ever see any of them do? When? Where? Yukino stammers and sputters. Have you ever even met somebody over there? Kayam demands to know. Yukino hangs his head and shakes it from side to side. With a grim smile, Kayam says, well, I have. And they're not devils or demons or anything of the sort. How could they be? You all used to be part of the same country, but that stuff is beside the point anyway. Countries and races and tribes. You're all human beings. You're all the same. Yukino stays silent, hanging his head. It's like, yeah, how about you go stop with this, like, oh, the other side is a bunch of demons. Tears were up through the wall. The wall that separated the two worlds for decades had just now been broken through. Representatives from this side and the other side walked through the opening, greet each other with smiles and firm handshakes and embrace. The cheers grow louder and people, mostly members of the younger generation, gather in circles here and there, expressing their joy. Yukino glares at his shadow and asks Kayam, so what should I do now? All I've ever done is hate. All I've ever done to know how to do is hate them. Kayam gives Yukino a pat on the shoulder and says, it's not too late to change. You can start now. Can I? You can. I'm sure of it. Kayam is sure because he knows what it is like when both sides were a single country. It was a kindly nation, by no means rich. It was a happy country of compassionate people. So they're always like really nice, and then they just all decide to go fight. I'm telling you, Yugono, people can change. If you say so. Look over there, Yugono. Look at those people enjoying themselves. Hesitantly, Yugono races ahead. Around the wall, celebration is beginning. Young people are dancing, singing, toasting each other, engaging in conversation, and all of them used to be companions of Yugonos who received the same education he did. No doubt the young people on the other side were similarly educated to hate. What do you see over there? Demons? Devils? Yugono shakes his head and lets his tightness go out of his shoulders. I'm beginning to wonder, Kayam, why until now I've been so... Kayam pats him on the shoulder again to signal he understands. People can change, he says. They could change from hating to loving, and from loving to hating. Yes, Kayam knows about it as well. You see how a wonderfully unified country was divided into at the end of a violent civil war. Don't change anymore, Kayam says. Not just to Yugono, but to all the smiling young people. A young girl hesitantly approaches Yugono. She is from the other side. She holds a plate full of cookies. Ask me if you like, she says. I baked them this morning. The cookies are heart-shaped. Urged on by the silent Kayam, Yugono reaches for a cookie, his face bright red. Thanks, he says shyly and takes a bite of his cookie. Good? She asks. Yugono turns a deeper shade of red and says, delicious. Cookies. White birds cut across the blue sky from the other side to this side. From this side to the other side. Or to the other. Bleh. White birds sail through the sky almost joyfully as if to tell people below, in the beginning there were no borders. The end. So we got a treasure thing from that, so let's look at the treasure shit. There's still a lot of, like, dreams and shit. Cool. Oh. We see as well what the topics are for today. Let's see. Oh, we got no topics. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about the fucking shitstorm that was today, honestly, because, like, holy shit. Holy shit. Like, my god. Like, I'm not even in the fucking VTuber culture bullshit, but I'm like, man, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, that's surprisingly is that it's the least toxic, but also, like, it's gonna get toxic as soon as they actually gonna have the little showcase, because you know it's gonna be nothing and people are gonna be shitty about it. So let's see, so we gotta go... Just to be on the safe side. So that treasure that they kind of mention in here is like... It's something else, apparently. So let's see. So the treasure is hidden somewhere in the mansion. All the monsters are gone. Gets into a fucking battle 5 seconds later.
Don't overdo it.
Don't ask. Fucking Lost Odyssey magic right here. Oh, all the monsters are gone 5 seconds later. No, they're not.
That was a close one.
Oh, cool. So you can get like some SP real fast from that. That's kind of neat. Alright, so we need to go into the little hedge maze. Yeah, like, honestly, here's my thing with it, is I don't think it was specifically the Harry Potter thing. Like, it's not like, you know, like, Bombs probably, you know, said, oh, you know, like, fucking did, like, X, Y, Z. I personally believe that probably what happened was, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, for lack of a better word. That's my 2 cents on- oh fuck, I'm around these other men. Oh shit, I realized that there's another book in this fucking bullshit. It's only 5! Like, we're getting spoiled over here. Honestly, though, like, the 5 party members, like, if you use the wrong guys, it can kind of fuck you up.
That was a close one.
It can kind of fuck you, like, real badly. Alright, so, I believe it's... here? No? I'm looking for a treasure. Oh, hold up. Blazing Fire Amulet obtained. Okay, so... Okay, so cool. So on the plus side, I need to just equip this on some people. So she knows that. Agreed. Honestly, agreed. Cause like, I'm looking around right now, so she need fucking SP from that. He got 5. So let's see what other side quests they've got, because there's like a whole bunch of fucking side quests, like, okay. That's a fight club. I'm looking at side quests that are honestly worth it in this game, and I'm just like, kind of like, eh. Let me look as well in the Sorcerer's Mansion side quest. Let's see. Kalion Island. Let me look real quick at where to get magic level 7 lost. Like, because what I'm running into is I need magic level 7 for all these guys, and like, level 7 black magic. Where the fuck do I get the sage earrings?
Keep your guard up!
I don't know if I have those. Yeah, like, I'm missing, like, the best spells for all of them. Okay, you can get these heavy alchemists, man. And, you know, when you go buy the best spells in the shop. What does that mean?
I did it! A perfect battle!
It's only 5, but let's see. So we got.
Are you some kind of beast?
Let's see. So level 43 is when Cook learns. Yeah, because I'm looking right now, like, when the fuck does everybody learn everything? Okay, so it's like 600 damage, So yeah, I need to... Oh, shit. Yeah, unfortunately... Yeah, like, 5 people, but you can run an entire team of mages if you really want to. I don't recommend it, but you can do it in this game without much trouble. So, okay, so I'm gonna have to bench an immortal. Actually, let me look real quick where... Okay, so she's at 9 out of 25. That's pretty much what I need to do at this point is teach everybody this fire skill. And I'm looking at like any other like good fucking like side quests I feel like doing, honestly. Like, part of me's just like, I just want to finish the fucking game, honestly. Like, I'm trying to go and get excited for doing that, but honestly, almost like, I'm kind of like...
Well, have you fallen for me yet?
I learned Drain Shower, Kayam learned Weapon Guard, okay. Alright, I'm gonna let this roam around real fast while I look at more side quest shit, because I'm trying to see where the fuck all the side quests are. Let's see, what's the treasures? Okay, so there's that. Honestly, with the way these are, I'm gonna quickly teach my immortals this fire skill, and then after that, I'm gonna probably just continue on.
Say your prayers!
Yeah, Ming's outfit is a fucking disaster, and that's why she's the best. Like, her outfit is so fucking stupid, that's why I like it. You're still alive. Unfortunately, I have to do this. There we go.
Only the strong.
Cephalon reduce casting time 1. Cool. Let me see, so I miss what dreams am I missing? Let me see. So Handa's departure, I'm missing number 2. How many dreams are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. Okay. Should we do some dreams? What's your best non-mage right now? Easily Kayam. Seth, the thing is that Seth has the benefit of attacking real fast. So it's good, but her hit rate is absolutely dog shit. And she makes it known to the masses that her hit rate is absolutely dog shit. Like, she's hitting fine right now, but like, second, you know, you're like, Yeah, I'm not gonna learn how to hit anymore. No.
Let's just stay calm.
I would say best immortal mage has gotta be, yeah, the best immortal mage, in my humble opinion, has gotta be fucking, like, Sarah's probably, thing is, it goes between Sarah and Ming, mostly because, like, I have issues with the way that Sarah's hit rate is, or how long she takes, honestly, and she's so squishy. It's not even funny. She is so squishy. Her and Ming are both very fucking squishy. That's why it's like, Jansen, like, he's kind of like mid-tier, but he has like both black and white magic, but he's black magic focused.
What did you expect?
Alright, have you learned this fucking skill yet, Seth, please? Seth, darling, have you learned the skill yet? God damn it, one more. Seth, darling. Seth, darling, please learn this. But honestly, the Immortals are like the best characters in this game, in terms of like power and everything. Like Cookies, I like to get one-shotted. Mac is very much, I think I can attack people, but I can't. And he kind of sucks. Seth, oh no, Seth's really the best mortal in this game. He's actually kind of broken if you know what the fuck you're doing with him. That man can take a hit.
No one gets in my way.
And Tolton basically owns a once more. Yeah, no, they're all like, everyone has like cool Final Fantasy sounding name, and then there's just Sarah. Damn it. She didn't one shot. Fuck. Unlike Kyan, who's like, yeah, I'm gonna one shot everybody. So now people are gaslighting on this whole, like, they retired sort of shtick now. Now they're apparently claiming nobody harassed her, she was planning on retiring. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't stop the fact that, like, okay, y'all were little shitheads. Oh no, what are you doing? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're fine. Here we go.
I'll no longer doubt myself.
Dude, people are taking my fucking bait fucking seriously. Holy fucking shit. So, I made that joke. Oh, Sarah has all glasses. That saves her. Yeah, no, the glasses save her, which Sarah. People are like, I'm gonna piss you off, but I think that Dark Souls should go to have a pause button. I'm like, you guys literally took my fucking bait. Like, I was fucking joking. Like, holy shit, people. Holy shit, y'all. Or shuffle the goalpost with drama. Dude, people are taking this whole, like, fucking bullshit, like, way too fucking seriously.
Oh no, look out!
Mess involving the fucking VTuber who fucking retired. And then people took my Dark Souls post seriously. I'm like, dude, I am literally joking here. No, like... I should have just said get good to these people, but I didn't. And I'm like, man, I should have told one of these guys to don't get good. Because, like, it would have been funny if I just said that. Like, 'cause some people basically took my Dark Soul post, like, oh, yeah, just go get your partner to go and sit there and just do all that. And I guess people are taking this way too damn seriously. And I was like, y'all, this is a joke. Trust me. I think it's fucking bullshit how, like, you know, it... I said, someone took my whole, like, oh, damn it, I used some MP when I shouldn't have. I said, it's a joke, relax, y'all. The autism gun! Dude. I can't with people. This is so funny. Like, I was joking about that, and, like, but obviously Norwitz's post was a complete joke, because she probably was like, yeah, that would be nice too, but also, like, you know, welcome to Dark Souls, you don't get a fucking, like, save point, like, because fuck you, that's why, welcome to Dark Souls, it fucking is annoying. Sarah's boobs are just everywhere, so it's like, alright, who has the lewdest design? Obviously Sarah, her boobs are just fucking there. She's a good grandma. I like her. Sarah's a good granny. I like her.
Don't let him get away!
Is there any? That are worth fucking doing. Let's see. Forgotten Cave. What's this? Let's see. Again. So, pretty much, yeah, like... Bonus healing if you get any on her glasses. That might be a little bit down the road. Like, honestly, I'm trying to go and get this skill real fast so I can make this boss not fucking ass. I'm trying to get it on Kayam and
Man, this is getting old real quick.
And then reduce fire damage on everybody else. Then I'll just, you know, fucking worry about...
That was a close one.
Sarah would have been a better character if she was introduced a little bit earlier, personally. I have that take. Honestly, I personally think Seth is the best girl of this game. my 2 cents. Is I do think Seth is the best girl of this game. Oh, finally! He's the best mage, personally. I do think that he's the best mage. When you take out Immortals, he's the best mage. When you put in Immortals, technically, I think Ming is the strongest mage. But the problem is you have to go and teach her everything. But if we're talking about non-teachable mages, like, technically, it's technically Jensen. I can't fucking talk right now. Damn, this thing takes forever. Yeah, she was introduced a little too late, personally. But also, the thing is that she's an immortal that I personally think they could have done a little bit better with. Out of all the immortals, she's the weakest in terms of development. That's at least my 2 cents. Is I think that she's the weakest in terms of development, because her main focus in development is she's Khaim's wife. And they kind of don't really go any deeper into that. Oh, she's Khaim's wife. So that's why I kind of think they could have done a little bit better with her, but it is what it is. Not saying that she's like a bad character or anything, but it's like, alright, if we're gonna go put all the immortals up against each other, I do personally think that she is the weakest. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna hit the barrier. Oh, there's no barrier. Shit. I wish my biggest problem with this game is every single outfit is way too detailed for me to honestly even go and like, geez, I can't make that outfit. I can't. I just can't. I just tried probably literally like part way into trying to go put it together. Like, if I was gonna go make something for this, it would have to be a commission because like, damn, okay, Seth is just learning everything. Holy shit, woman. Stop learning shit. Woman. Alright, he's got like one more battle till he learns his shit. Okay. Like, that's the problem with this game, is that they have like the best fucking character designs. But this is not like somebody who absolutely detests sewing friendly. Like, I fucking hate sewing. Like, if these were all armor, that'd be such a different fucking story. I'd be like, oh yeah, let's fucking do it, let's fucking go. But like, the problem is that they're all hyper detailed. And like, unless if I like commissioned it, I would probably like give up partway through. Like, I do not like sewing, and that's what kind of sucks. I love armor building. I love making props and weapons. I tolerate this styling. I don't fucking like it, but I tolerate it. But when it comes to sewing, it's like there's a reason I've done like less than 5 sewing projects ever, because every time I've done it, I fucking hate it.
That wasn't very fun.
Cool. Like, damn, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had a fucking, like, skill for that sort of thing. This is my favorite fucking non-immortal character said. He's in my opinion the best fucking one. He also has the best skills in my honest opinion. Like, he has double SP, double loot, double gold. This guy also allows you to have auto shield and auto barrier put up immediately. So I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's the best. I should probably go save. It's been like, what, like 20 minutes since I last saved, and I fucking got like 3 skills on everybody. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try this boss. If I get my ass kicked because of the fire attack, then I'm just gonna like fucking go and just grind this out real fast. But unfortunately, because I do not have the ship that takes you to the next thing, like apparently you get like another ship, do not ask. Yes, Grandpa with the OP allies. Where's the blue dragon fight? So apparently there's a blue dragon fight. Okay, so let me see. Go to Tosca Village. Basically, he's like sick. Now, apparently there's a boss in this game called Blue Dragon that is apparently the easiest of the optional bosses. Like, I don't know, I may go through and like kind of look at that, but also I'm just like, my brain's just like, why don't you just go finish this fucking game? That's how I feel with it. Like, I'm like, actually there's something, actually let me go to a different place, because apparently there's a dream that I missed in Ura. I need to go through the walkthrough. It's like, you try to go and be like, alright, where the fuck do I go next? And it's like, oh, we're gonna, you know, like, take you to these 5 billion other places. Namara. One thing I need to go check with all my... Okay, so she got anti-petrify, he's got anti-petrify, she's got anti-petrify. Cool. Yeah, I realized that I'm like, ooh, I do not have I have a... So, you have to go to Ura Sushi Square. Yeah, that game fucking sucks. Dude, that game fucking sucks. I fucking hate that game. Like, honestly, the only character I could tolerate from Blue Dragon was Zola. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. The protagonist was like kind of mid. Okay, so his buddy was okay. I'll give him that. His buddy was alright. I didn't mind him. But in terms of everyone else, the girls were absolutely terrible. Remember that guy that sounded like fucking Jar Jar Binks in that fucking game? Like, what were they thinking? Just what the hell were they thinking? Alright, so you need to go and approach the bar? Okay, so you need to go approach the bar. Where the fuck is the bar at? Hold on, actually, no way. I'm a dumbass. I'm pretty sure this is the bar. I heard actually the anime is much better than... There we go. Okay, so this is another dream that we fucking missed. Hold on, you're fresh from Battlefield 2, aren't you? Guess we both are big. Cool. There's only like 12 more dreams, so I may see if I can go get all of them. I'm not gonna do all of them tonight, obvious fuckingly. I don't want to fucking do all of them tonight. But... Little crowd of rugged men nursing his drink at the bar corner of the old coast town's only tavern, Kayam. A single man strides through the tavern door. Massively built, he wears the garb of a warrior. His soiled uniform bespeaks a long journey. Fatigue marks his face, but his eyes wear a penetrating gleam. The look of a fighting man on active duty, a hero's return. The tavern's din hushes initially. It's silly. Every drunken eye in the place fastens on the soldier with awe and gratitude. The long war with the neighboring country is ended at last, and the men who fought on the front lines are returning to their homes. So it was with this military man. The soldier takes a seat at the table next to Kayam and downs a slug of liquor with the forcefulness of a hard drinker, a man who drinks to kill his pain. He's trying to get rid of that. Beer sounds. 2 cups, 34. Another customer approaches him, bottle in hand, wearing an ingratiating grin, a typical crafty town punk. Let me offer you a drink, wheedles a man, as a token of your gratitude for your heroic efforts on the battlefield on behalf of the fatherland. The soldier, unsmiling, allows the man to fill his cup. How was that at the front? I'm sure you performed many valiant deeds on the battlefield. The soldier empties his cup in silence. He's like, no, I fucking didn't. The punk refills his cup and adopts an even more fawning smile. Now that we're friends, how about telling me some war tales? You got such big, strong arms. How many enemy soldiers did you kill? Without a word, the soldier hurls the contents of his cup in the man's face. The punk flies into a rage and draws his knife. No sooner does it leave its sheath than Kayam's fist sends it flying through the air. Blech. Faced with the powerful united front of Kayam and his soldiers, the punk runs out muttering curses. 2 big men watch him go, then share a faint smile. Kayam does not have to speak with the soldier to know he lives in deep sadness. For its part, the soldier, having cheated death any number of times, is aware of the shadow that lurks in Kayam's expression. The tavern's din returns. Kayam and the soldier pour each other drinks. I've got a wife and a daughter I haven't seen since I shipped out, says the soldier. It's been 3 long years. He lets himself smile shyly for the first time as he takes a photograph of his wife and daughter from his pocket and shows it to Kayam. The wife, a woman of dewy freshness, the daughter still very young. They're the reason I survived. The thought of going home to them alive was all that sustained me in battle. Damn. Is your home far from here? No, my village is just over the next pass. I'm sure they've heard the news that the war is over and can hardly wait to have me home. You could get here tonight if you wanted to badly enough. It was that close. But the soldier draws his mouthful of liquor and groans. I'm afraid. Afraid? Of what? I want to see my wife and daughter, but I'm afraid to have them see me. I don't know how many men I've killed these past 3 years. I had no choice. I had to do it to stay alive. If I was going to get back to my family, I had no choice but to kill one enemy soldier after another, and each and every one of those men had families that were left at home. It was the code of war, the soldier's destiny. To stay alive in battle, you had to go on killing men before they could kill you. Fair. I had no time thinking about things at the front. I was too busy trying to survive. I see him now, though. Now the war is over. 3 years of sin carved into my face. This is the face of a killer. I don't want to show this face to my wife and daughter. The soldier pulls out a leather pouch from which he withdraws a small stone. He tells Kayam it's an unpolished gemstone, something he found shortly after he left for the battlefield. Gemstone, Kayam asks unconvinced. The stone on the table is a dull black without a hint of the gleam a gem should have. It sparkled when I first found it. I was sure my daughter would love it when I brought it home to her. Gradually, though, the stone lost its gleam and turned cloudy. Damn. Every time I killed an enemy soldier, suddenly like the state of his blood would rise. To the surface of the stone, as you can see, it's almost black now after 3 years. The stone is stained by the sins I've committed. I call it my sin stone. You don't have to blame yourself, says Kayam. You had to do it to stay alive. I know that, says the soldier. I know that, but still, just like me, the men I killed are villagers to go home to, and families waiting for them there. The soldier says to Chaim, "You too, I suppose. You must have a family." Chaim gives his head a little shake. "Not me," he says. "No family. A home village, at least? I don't have any place to go home to. Eternal traveler, huh?" "Uh-huh, that's me." The soldier chuckles softly and gives Chaim a sour smile. It's hard to tell how fully he believes what Chaim has told him. He slips the sin stone into the leather pouch and says, "You know what I think? If the stone turned darker every time I took a life, it ought to get some of its gleam black every time I save a life." Instead of answering, Chaim drains last drops of liquor from his cup and rises from the table. The soldier remains in his chair, and Chaim, staring down at him, offers him these words of advice. "If you have a place you can go home to, you should go to it. Just go, no matter how much guilt you may have weighing you down. I'm sure your wife and daughter will understand. You're no criminal. You're a hero. You fight your heart out to stay alive." "I'm glad I met you," says the soldier. I needed to hear that. He holds his right hand out to Chaim, who grasps it in return. "I hope your travels go well," says the soldier. "And your travels will soon be over," says Chaim with a smile, starting for the door. Just then, the punk charges at Chaim from behind, wielding a pistol. "Watch out!" bellows the soldier and rushes after Chaim. As Chaim rolls around, the punk takes aim and shouts, "You can't treat me like that, you son of a bitch!" The soldier flies between the two men and takes a bullet in his gut. Damn! Okay! And so, as he desperately wished to, the soldier has saved someone's life. Ironically, it's for the life of Chaim, a man who can neither age nor die. That the soldier's traded his one and only life. Sprawled on the floor, nearly unconscious, the soldier thrusts the leather pouch into Chaim's hand. "Look at my sin stone, will you?" Maybe, he says, chuckling weakly. Some of its shine has come back. Blood splurts from his mouth, strangling the laugh. Chaim looks inside the bag and says, "It's sparkling now. It's clean." "It is?" grasped the soldier. "My daughter would be so glad." He smiles with satisfaction and holds his hand out for the pouch. Gently, Chaim lays the pouch in the palm of his hand and folds a man's finger over it. The soldier draws his last breath, and the pouch falls to the floor. The dead man's face wears a peaceful expression. The stone, however, the man's sin stone, which had rolled from the open pouch, it is as black as ever. Damn, okay. Mr. or Mrs. Obama, get down! Alright, cool. I wanted to see that one. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some more of these dreams, but I'm gonna kind of spread them out because there's still a little bit to go before we hit the final dungeon. Basically, we have Grandstaff in the Hall of Mirrors, and I'm trying to think if I want to do any of those like special little bosses. I don't really feel like it personally. Not really a fan. I mean, I could if people really want that, but I'm gonna be honest, like. Honestly, I want to believe that he fucking did. Honestly, that's like, the thing is that the first one made me really fucking sad. The entire game, like, the purpose of these is to go through Chaim's life, and like, it kind of does this like crazy fucking thing that I kind of really like. Basically, it kind of just numbs you to like death the same way that Chaim kind of gets numbed to death, because like, the first one is like, oh man, that's fucking harsh. Like, the first one's really depressing. Because, like, it's basically about how he, like, saved the dying kid and stuff, and the kid unfortunately dies at the end. And it's, like, it kind of makes you, like, it kind of takes the person who's viewing all this through different, like, stuff. And it's kind of cool. Let's see, sorry. Okay, cool. So yeah, so pretty much what we have to do now is we do need to continue on with the game, because pretty much all of the cool little extra shit is after this next scene. I'm gonna go and buy one more. Oh, dude, the storytelling is really fucking good in this game. Like, honestly, like, it hurts my voice to kind of do this, but I do want to do more of these, like, dreams for but we're gonna get a better fucking ship before we fucking do this, because we don't even have the best fucking ship yet. Apparently we're gonna get a further upgrade on our ship. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go and buy some more items real fast, because this game is very weird, where sometimes they just lock you away from like a shop, and you're like, and you have to like kind of basically stock up early on. That's why I have like $70,000, because like I'll buy another one of these. You wouldn't think I would need all this, but you'd be surprised. You go through this shit fast. You go through that shit fast, even though the mana capsules like heal up practically all of your mage's MP at this point. Ah. Alright, so you need to go through Mumara, and like there's a bunch of cutscenes, or not to talk as much. Like I'm gonna try to do another dream or two probably before the end of the stream, but like this is kind of the thing is that we're kind like this game is so weird, because like it kind of pulls what Final Fantasy 13 does, where you don't get to explore until, right? That's such a mood. I'm like, damn, I wish I was that rich. But like this game kind of pulls what Final Fantasy 13 does, where you don't get to explore the world for the most part until Disc 4, honestly. Like, you know, you can go out and do a few side quests here and there, but the story is pretty linear. Like, obviously, it's not as linear as Final Fantasy 13, where it's like literally a fucking hallway, but there's not really much wiggle room in terms of what you can do. It is very much a Final Fantasy 13 move. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. See, okay, so I got a hot take here. I don't personally mind it, but like the second the game kind of opens up a little bit, it's like, oh shit, like Disc 3 is almost all linear. It's almost all linear, because because you do a lot of like kind of spreading out your party. There's a lot of situations that happen that spread out your entire party, and like other than grabbing treasures, it's not very open. I need to still finish that one. I finished Final Fantasy 13 and 13 too. I fucking love 13 too. You would think that as someone who like really liked the cliffhanger, you think I would jump right into that, but I never fucking did. That's one of those things that it's like I wanted to kind of, you know, look at. Alright, so before we continue, I want to also take a quick look real quick at something. We're in save in front of the follows. See if there's any more dreams to nab real fast. So let's see, there's side quests. Let me look at the dreams real fast. Is there any dreams that we can nab in here real fast in Numara? Alright, let me pull F Numara. Ah, fuck, that's not control F. Find a page, Numara. Okay, don't forget me now. Let's see, let me look at real fast at the ones that we have, so. Okay, so we have the talking mercenary, we have letters from the yep, got that one. I think it was something I don't. Okay, so we're gonna nab 2 dreams real fast here. Happy birthday! So, on So, the old woman in Mario Street just in front of the fruit cart. Where the fuck is the fruit cart? Let's see, is this Main Street? Yeah, it is. Okay, so there's a fruit cart around here somewhere. And you want to approach the old woman in front of it to go and trigger another dream. There we go. Okay, cool. God, my mom's so slow. I recall the memory that is unlocked. Yeah, we're gonna do these real quick because I don't know if Numara gets blocked off again. I hear Trash King playing Charles the Sky the Third. The mother stands by the island pier waiting for her son. Her luggage is bigger than she is, dressed in her finest traveling clothes. She seems hardly able to contain her excitement as she speaks to Kayam, who happens to be waiting for the same boat to arrive. I got a letter from him, she says. Almost 30 years have passed since her only son left the island of his birth. There was no word from him in all the time until he recently wrote announcing his successes and his plan to bring her to the mainland. I've been alone ever since I lost my husband, so just to think I might be able to spend the rest of my life with my son, his wife, and my grandchildren. She sold the house she had always lived in and always been waiting for her son to come for her. The letter arrived over a week ago. I wonder why it's taking him so long. The seas are calm. Time arrived here on yesterday's ferry. Yeah, don't ask. Like, some of the stuff is like, alright, how the fuck did you go and get a dream out of that? You mean he's late? Kayam asked with such surprise. Very, she replies, forcing a smile. I wonder what's wrong. Maybe he got busy all of a sudden. He can't pull himself away from his work. He hasn't written again to explain. He's never bothered with things like that. Not since he was a child, she says, straining to smile again and glancing toward the horizon. No bigger than a dot at the boat. At dot first, the boat is now big enough for a clear view of the mast and silhouette. Anyhow, I'm not worried. I know we'll be on this boat, she says, raising herself from the dock side on which she is sitting, and waving a hanger sheet toward the approaching vessel. Kayam also stares at the boat, which gives his eyes a stern expression. Young man? At the sound of the mother's voice, Kayam hastens to soften his gaze before turning towards her. You're a traveler, aren't you? That's right, he says. I saw you arrive on yesterday's ferry. Are you leaving so soon? She is obviously curious about this stranger, but her face shows no wariness towards outsiders. Relieved to see this, Kayam replies. I'm doing the same thing you are, waiting for someone to arrive. On this boat? Yes, probably. You haven't been in touch with this person? No, we haven't agreed on a time. I might be waiting for nothing, too. Oh, really? Kayam evades further question with a strained smile. This is not something you can discuss with just anyone. He is on a secret mission, one that he must not fail. The woman still wears a look of puzzlement, but this conversation swelled up in a general hubbub on shore, accompanying the approach of the boat. At last, the ferry arrives. One by one, the passengers alight after the half-day trip from the capital on the mainland. Clutching the handkerchief to her breast, the mother scans each of them. They are peddlers who travel from island to island, hawking their wares, and men who have come to do larger-scale trading. Sunburned young men and women who arrive from the mainland in groups to work on the island's farms, and men coming home to the island after a season of labor on the mainland. None of the passengers, however, is the woman's son. Once it has disgorged its island-bound travelers, the ferry takes on people crossing to the mainland. Greeters on the pier give way to well-wishers. The mother turns her back on the pier's hustle and bustle and plods her way through the town. She hoists a heavy pack on her back and lifts a large suitcase in each hand, but she has only taken a few steps when the pack begins to slide off. Kayam reaches it to keep from falling. The woman turns with a look of surprise when she realizes Kayam is alone. She asks, "Is there a person who didn't come either?" Looks that way. With only one ferry a day from the mainland, all they can do is wait until tomorrow. Are you going to stay on the island till your friend comes? I might have to. You could run up quite a hotel bill that way. I'm alright. I'm used to camping out. Camping out? She exclaims with a look of amazement. Then she smiles and says, oh, well, you're young and in good condition. A few days sleeping outdoors shouldn't be too hard. He's probably like 300 years old, honestly, at this point. What are you going to do, ma'am? Go back home? I wish I could. I sold my house last week. I was so sure my son would come get me right away. A hint of discouragement clouds her face, but she quickly recovers her smile and continues. The money I got for the house is a nice little bundle, so I've decided to spend it freely for a change. See that large hotel over there? I'm staying in their biggest room and taking it easy all day and night too. I'm disappointed when he doesn't show up, of course. I've worked my fingers to the bone all these years. It wouldn't hurt for me to indulge myself just this little bit. The kid's probably dead. Though delivered with a smile, her words touch Kayam deeply. In her case, worked by fingers to the bone is not just figure of speech, as evidenced by her suntanned face, which is so unsuited to the cosmetics she applied to greet her son, and especially by her bony fingers so ill-concealed by the cheap ring she is wearing. Hard as she undoubtedly worked, life had granted her few rewards. There is nothing expensive about her luggage. I'm sure your son will be here tomorrow, Kayam says. Her deeply wrinkled face breaks into a joyous smile. Yes, of course, tomorrow for sure, she says with a deep nod. I hope the person you are waiting for comes on tomorrow's boat too. Thank you very much, he replies. I have an idea, she says. You might consider camping out. If you'd like, why not stay in my hotel? I'm sure we could arrange something for one extra person. Kayam says that she is struggling this out of mere politeness, which plays away demurs with a smile and a nod. It's just the same, but don't worry about me. Just take the rest you deserve after your long years of hard work. If you say so, she seems somewhat disappointed, but does not press him to accept. As he watches her trudge off toward the hotel alone, all but hidden from view by her huge bundle, Kayam wonders if perhaps she was hoping his company might ease her concern that her son might not show up at all. Even so, he decides not to chase after her and attract his refusal. He is the wrong man to spend time with a mother whose only dream is to have a happy old age. Damn. Most likely, when tomorrow's boat arrives, she will finally be reunited with her son after she has longed to see after all these years. The person that Kayam is waiting for will almost certainly cross over to the island tomorrow. The mother will undoubtedly shed tears when her reunion takes place. Kayam, on the other hand, has a bloody job to perform when he encounters the man he's waiting for. Kayam has been hunting him. The man is a fugitive, and there is a reward on his head. He has noticed the boss of an underworld gang in the capital, and he has committed crimes without number: robbery, fraud, extortion, assault, and even murder. To cap his life of crime, he double-crossed his own gang and ran off with a great deal of money. Word reached the gang only a few days ago that the man is headed for this island, the place of birth, and they hired Kayam to take care of him. The fact that they hired Kayam means they are ready to have him killed on sight. Kayam and the mother meet at the dock again the next day at the same time, and again the next day, and the next, and the day after that. The ones they are waiting for never come. A week goes by. The mother switches accommodations from her expensive hotel to a cheap inn frequented by traveling peddlers. Actually, I'm more comfortable in a cheap place like this, she tells Kayam with a laugh. More than likely, her money would have run out in the first hotel. Your person is very late too, she observes. True. Who isn't? He sidesteps the issue with a strained smile. He cannot answer a question if he is going to carry out his duty, and besides, he feels a tiny premonition deep inside. The mother stops questioning him and says, I hope your person comes too. I got a feeling I knew who this person is. Another 3 days go by. A messenger from the gang, disguised as a peddler, whispers to Kayam as he steps off the ferry. We still think he's hiding in the capital. We're looking in every rat hole we could find, but there's no sign of him. Kayam nods silently and glances at the boat. Even after the last passenger alights, the mother stands on the pier looking up at the boat's empty deck. Let me ask you, young man, the mother says to Kayam 3 days later. Does the place where you're camping out have a roof to keep the dew off? Kayam is sleeping in a dilapidated old house he found near the harbor. All I need is a place to sleep, she says. Would you mind if I join you there? What's that? The place I'm staying in now is not much better than a ruin. I'm sure I'd be fine wherever you're staying. Yes, I'm sure I'd be fine. She smiles like a child who has found a new source of mischief. Kayam does not refuse her. More precisely, he cannot refuse her. She's probably run out of money to even stay in her current flop house. Kayam has noticed her cheap rings gradually disappearing from her bony fingers. As they pass the night in the abandoned building, the moon the only source of light, the mother, without prompting Kayam, spills her memories of her son. They were by no means pleasant memories. Known as a roughneck, even from his earliest years, the boy was halted, hated by his neighbors, and caused his parents a good deal of shame. He would steal our money, stay all night partying, and before he knew it, he was the #1 thug on the island. He was always getting into fights and bothering girls. During the night's annual festival, he would go wild and destroy property. So my husband and I would have to go around apologizing to everyone. The father, a skilled stone mason, lost his job when the son stole valuables from the boss's house. The mother, who could hardly walk down the street without being subjected to the glares and finger-pointing of the neighbors. Things got especially bad after her son set fire to the island assembly hall just for fun. Damn, okay! His parents raised him badly. The boy's misbehavior is the parents' responsibility. The son has become such a thug because his mother spoiled him rotten. It's the parents' fault, the father's fault, the mother's fault, your fault. They had heard it all. It was so hard for us in an island like this. There was no place we could hide. The boy was 18 when he finally ran away from home, or rather left the island when his parents all but disowned him. The other islanders rejoiced as if a plague had been lifted. One man went as far as to deliberately let the parents overhear him declaring, I hope that bastard goes to the capital and dies in the gutter. The boy's father died 5 years ago. To this very end, he would not forgive his son, and in his final delirium, he was apologizing to the islanders. Yeah, but still, to a mother, any son is the baby once carried. I never heard a word from him. I went on praying that he would stay healthy in the capital, that he wouldn't catch whatever epidemic was going around, that he wouldn't get into fights. That's just me, I guess. She gave Kayam a bitter smile. Or maybe it's just me being a mother, she adds. You have parents too, I suppose? Of course you do. Everyone has parents. True. Are your father and mother alive as well? Chaim bows his head in silence. On a journey with no clear beginnings and no definable end, Chaim is unable to answer a question like this. Instead, he asks the woman, what is the first thing you'll say when you finally get to meet your son? Good question, says the mother. After thinking over a few moments, she replies, I won't actually say anything. I think I'll just hug him and say nothing at all. I'll hold him tight and let him know how glad I am that he's alive and well. Just supposing, though. Chaim presses her gently. If you knew that he lived a less than exemplary life at the capital too, would you still give him a hug? Her response is instantaneous. First, I'd hug him. And then I'd give him a good talking to. She smiles shyly at Chaim and adds, that's what being a parent is all about. Dude, this son's probably the hit. Next morning, she runs a high fever. She may have survived the dew, but a night in the dilapidated building had taken a toll on the old woman's health. Even so, when it was time for the ferry to arrive, she struggles to her feet and heads towards the pier with uncertain steps. Alarmed, Chaim holds her back. You're in no shape to be going out, he says. Despite his attempts to bring down her feet with cool spring water from the forest, it is as high as ever. Her labored breathing has taken on a congested rumbling. I have to go, she insists. My son is coming for me. I'm going to see him. She sweeps away Chaim's restraining hand, but the effort causes her to lose her balance and sink to her knees. If he's on board, I'll bring him here, Chaim reassures her. Tell him how I can recognize him. Cradling Chaim's arms, half delirious with fever, the old woman mutters, on his left cheek, before he left the island, he got into a fight. Somebody cut him. He has a scar. Chaim nods and lowers the old woman to a straw mat spread on the ground. He fights back a sigh and closes his eyes momentarily. Then he stares hard through the small window at the empty dock. His suspicions were right after all, though he was sure of it last night. Chaim was given a written description of the man when he took on the assignment from the beginning. There could be no doubt. Scar on left cheek. The ferry is approaching the harbor. The pier is showing signs of activity. Chaim starts for the door. Behind him, he hears the woman saying, please, don't kill him. Don't kill my boy. He's gonna kill the kid. Chaim's not sure, but instead of turning around, he bites his lip. I don't know what he did in the capital. But don't kill him. Please. She knows too. She knows everything. Yeah, they all kind of... She kind of put two and two together. If you have to kill him, if you absolutely have to, please, before you do it, let me just... Chaim leaves the ruin in silence. His steps are uncertain as he makes his way in the blinding glare of the afternoon sun. She knew. This time the man is there, trying to lose himself among the traveling peddlers. The man with the price on his head and the scar on his left cheek steps down from the pier. He is far more emaciated than Chaim from description would have led him to believe. No doubt he is exhausted from these years as a fugitive. Still, he has fulfilled his promise to his mother by coming back to the island of his birth. Yep. His eyes dart fearfully over the pier. His expression changes from that of an old man searching for someone to the panicked look of a child who's been separated from his parent. Chaim slowly plants himself in front of him. The man knows nothing of Chaim's mission, of course, and he has never met him before. But he has the instincts of an inhabitant in the back alleys. His face freezes and he turns to flee. Chaim grabs him by the shoulders, but lightly, in a way that would make an onlooker think he was witnessing the joyful reunion of old friends. The man tries to shake off the hand, to no avail. It would be easy for Chaim to kill him on the spot. His eyes show that he has no strength left to fight. Chaim is far more experienced than the man does surviving potentially fatal encounters. The man knows this. If you're going to kill me, get it over with, he snarls. But if you got a trace of kindness in you, you'll give me one last chance to do something good for my mother. It won't take long. Just let me see her. Once. Then you can do whatever you like with me. Chaim lets his hand drop to the man's shoulder. He is not going to run away. So I didn't make it after all, he says with a forced smile. He tells Chaim that he'd probably resign himself to his fate. It's just to an air of relief at having finally brought his life as a fugitive to an end. How many men have you killed? He asks Chaim. I don't have to answer that. And I don't want you to tell me. It's just, well, looking at you, I say I'm older than you are. And there are some things a person can realize when he lived a long time. Think about the guys you killed. Every single one of them have parents. Killing a person means killing somebody's child, right? Well, that finally dawned on me. I love the gang. Gangs don't pay retirement bonuses. Sort of borrowed a little money from them. And I thought I'd use it too. Well, I've given my mother a hard time all these years. His voice grows thick and muffled. He shakes off the emotion and proclaims with a laugh, "Oh, what the hell? That's a lot of sentimental nonsense. I don't know how many guys I've killed over the years, so I figure I'm getting what I deserve. I can't hate you for what you're doing. A shout comes from the ferry deck. We will departing shortly. All passengers bound for the capital should be boarding now. Chaim looks at the man and says, just tell me one thing. The man says something in reply, but Chaim continues, what's the first thing you're going to do when you see your mother? Huh? What are you talking about? Never mind, just answer the question. I'll say, I'm back. No, I won't say anything. I'll just take her in my arms, that's all. Give her a big hug? Sure, that's what parents and children are all about. Chaim relaxes the grim expression on his face and jerks his chin toward the forest beyond the pier. There's an old broken down house in the woods. Your mother's waiting for you there. Go to her. What are you talking about? Don't ever come back to the capital, and don't stay on this island. Take another ferry and go far away to some other island. With your mother. The man looks stunned. His voice is trembling. Chaim says no more. He leaves the man behind and strides toward the boat before he can depart. Mission accomplished. Chaim does not care if the return for this deed. He is labeled a traitor to be pursued by the gang. Even to his own parents, praying for their son's welfare has long since faded from his memory. Pulling out, please hurry, comes the cries of the ferry's crew. The big gong is ringing, startled by the sounds reverberating between the vast stretch of ocean and the open sky. Brightly colored birds dart up in the forest. Large birds and small birds, parents and their young. The large birds seem almost to be shielding the smaller ones beneath their slowly beating outstretched wings. So it turned out a little happier than we all thought it was gonna be, okay? So we all turned out happier, okay. Alright, so we got like, I think one more real fast. I'm glad that, like, even with my fucking voice kind of going out, like, I'm trying to read it for everybody, because, like, I'm gonna be honest, I look at how it reads on a fucking phone screen, and it's fucking tiny. But yeah, no, I'm glad that people like it. Like, honestly, these are, like, probably my favorite parts of doing this. Like, you know, yes, my voice kind of goes out a little bit partway, like, after the third or fourth one. I think we have, like, 1 to 2 more. One of them is automatic, the other one is, the kids. Probably this kid, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna need some water before we start this next one. Alright, so we got a little sneaking, thieving kid. Sneak me. Yeah, basically, this guy has, like, he doesn't remember shit, thanks to story reasons and shit. So, like, obviously this triggers shit. Beat him up. The Lottery of Life. Having kids is like playing the lottery, right? This is how the police commissioner put it with a grim smile and a sigh. He was the man in charge of domestic security. Sometimes you pick a winner, sometimes you pick a loser. Life is like that. You can't control it. I mean, he kind of right here. Dude, don't even question it. Some of them make no fucking sense. Chaim responds with a silent nod. Not that he was convinced that he could divide people into winners and losers, but that was how they did it here in the country. That was the size of a city. He had no choice but to recognize it as reality because the man who kept the peace here believed it, and the nation was known for having the best public safety of all the countries in the region. Kids are a lottery. Every kid in there is a loser. He spat out, jerking his chin towards a juvenile prison visible from his office window, built to hold young criminals. This was the largest and most strictly run and most closely guarded prison to be seen in any of the neighboring countries. Its treatment of its young inmates was also the harshest. You're a foreigner, Chaim, so you may not approve. We have our own way of doing things. I see, Chaim said. Losers are losers. There's nothing you can do to make losers into winners. It's never going to happen. Far from it. If you coddle losers, they just turn into bigger losers and get the decent people a lot of trouble. See what I mean? That's one way of looking at things. Chaim's deliberate irony was lost in the police commissioner. No, it's the only way. If you're going to have a safe, peaceful country, he declared, and we'll expect you to abide by this view too. Chaim has nothing more to say to him. If he were to insist on confronting the police commissioner, he might be seen as questioning the authorities, which could land him in the adults' prison. This would be easy enough to bring about for the police officer commissioner, and indeed for anyone in the city-state who stood on the side of the powers that be. The commissioner glanced again towards the juvenile prison. They built that place 80 years ago, he said, which to say the very building they made when the present political system came into being was a prison to throw young offenders into. Kayam knew this. Kayam, whose life went on forever. Events of 80 years before could well have happened yesterday. 80 years earlier, this country had experienced a coup d'etat. The revolutionary government ruled the people under a military dictatorship and jailed every last person suspected of disturbing the peace and order. The government was especially wary of younger criminals. There's a limit to how serious a kid's crimes can be. But let them get away with those, and the next thing you know, they're doing really bad stuff. They may be satisfied with shoplifting at first, but soon they're into burglary, muggings, they start using weapons, and in the end, they think nothing of killing people. You have to nip that in the bud. The kids sent to prison were fed the absolute minimum to kept alive. No daughter saw them if they fell sick or were injured. Subject to such harsh imprisonment, they succumbed one after another, and more than a few of them ended up as cold corpses pitched out the back door. Whenever one did manage to serve out his term and return to the outside world, he found it impossible to erase the brand of loser. Children with criminal records were soundly rejected by respectable society. The social system was structured in such a way that nothing worked for them. Employment, marriage, even finding a place to live. Expelled by society, these boys and girls returned to crime as a way to stay alive, eventually ending up in adult prison. So basically recidivism, what we currently have in our fucking society. With a bitter smile, the police commissioner said to Kayam, "I'm sure this all sounds terrible to an outsider like you." Kayam answered with a slight nod. This only served to increase the bitterness of the commissioner's smile. "I know what you're thinking," he said, "and to tell you the truth, I sometimes think the system is a little too harsh on them too. But you have to realize that we're not just punishing bad kids, we're holding them up as examples to the good ones. What would they think if they saw ex-criminals out on the street again, walking along and nothing ever happened? They figured that even if they got their hands dirty and spent a few years in jail, they could go back to their old lives, that society's punishment is no big deal, that they could get away with murder. Who wouldn't want our kids to be like that, would we? So the only thing is for us grown-ups to teach them, look at those guys, we could say, all it takes is one bad deed and your life is over, so you better listen to your parents and teachers for good." I mean, that's one way, I guess, of putting it. We've had a few light novel sections. He definitely had a point. Kayam was willing to grant him that, but still, the commissioner must have noticed a hint of shadow crossing Kayam's face, and he shifted his tone of voice. With bureaucratic conviction, he declared, "The authorities have received word that there's going to be a coup. Of course, the military have everything under control, so there's nothing to worry about. They could suppress it right now if they want to. They could easily attack the agitators and capture the ringleaders of the plot. In this case, though, they've decided to let it get started in order to smoke out every last one of the reactionary elements." Hey, Gatamon! According to the government's intelligence, the uprising was scheduled to occur that very night. We all prepared for just about any eventuality, but there is always a possibility of the unexpected. If there was a riot inside the juvenile prison timed to coincide with the rebellion, that could be a real problem. This is why Kayam had been hired as a temporary prison guard, a bodyguard for the state. So pretty much in this lifetime, Kayam is a prison guard. We're counting on the skills of a seasoned warrior, which is why we're entrusting you with such major responsibility. Be sure to live up to our expectations. If you have to resort to violence, we have no problem with that. Whatever you do, it will be for the sake of law and order. It will be in order to protect the happy lives of decent citizens of our nation. Carry out your duties with complete dedication of body and soul. The commissioner handed Kayam a one-page document. It was literally a license to kill. Damn, okay. Act without the slightest restraint. All the prison guards have one of these, but still, if you hesitate to impose the ultimate punishment on a single loser, then countless winners among the upstanding citizenry must suffer the consequences. You understand, I'm sure. Once a loser, always a loser. Rather than living with such a burden, they themselves might be happier to have killed them than to get it over with. Kayam accepted a document from the commissioner without comment. That completes our contractual arrangement. Now assume your pose. With a perfectly straight face, the commissioner cautioned Kayam, just make sure you don't let any foolish compassion get in your way. So, literally, they're telling Kayam, kill these kids! The season was midwinter, but Kayam found no hint of the fire burnings in the juvenile prison. In their tiny, solitary cells, the young inmates, wrapped in ragged blankets, laid helplessly in the dark. Painful moaning came to an end came from one cell, suggesting its inmate might be running a fever. From another came the unbroken, shrill, mean laughter that could only mean the person's mind had snapped. "What you see is what you get," said the veteran guard guiding Kayam on his first round of inspection. "Not one of these faces shows any life, so even if there were to happen, these pitiful creatures couldn't do a damn thing." They're losers, all right. They're breathing, but that is about it. Is there any is there really no possibility of them being rehabilitated and becoming winners? The other guard gave Kaim a momentary blank stare that said with a laugh and a wave, "No, no, no, none at all." 80 years since the revolution, and the change of generations have replaced virtually all the people from that time. Since coming of age, this prison guard, who had no memory of life before the revolution, had been implanted with the idea that people were either winners or losers, and he surely never doubted it. They went out of their way to hire you, so it might be a little strange for me to say this, but I'm sure the kids in here are never going to riot, no matter how wild things get on the outside. Splash a little cold water in them and they'll quiet right down. There's almost none of them you have to worry about. Almost? Well, I can't claim that about every single one of them. There are even some losers among the losers, unfortunately. The guard showed Chaim to the end of the hall, and there he opened the lock on the door so that it could be mistaken for a section of the wall. Beyond here are the punishment cells. This is where we throw the incorrigible losers. The ones who have caused trouble on work details, the ones who take a defiant attitude, the ones who show no sign of remorse for their crimes. Suddenly, it was clear to Chaim. It was clear to him because he had experienced countless battlefields in his life. The punishment cells were darker and far colder than the regular cells, but from the depths of the darkness from within each individual cell, there emanated a quiet heat that could not be felt from the regular cells. The people in here were alive. They were simply not breathing. They were alive with real passion. The crimes that originally got them locked out were nothing much. A little burglary, some purse snatching, flashing a knife, stuff like that. If they had quietly served out their terms, they'd be out now, living obscure lives somewhere. Instead, they resisted and kept resisting. They called for better treatment of inmates. They appealed for an end to discrimination against other prisoners. The number of crimes multiplied until it became clear they would never get out of there alive. Those go straight from here to the adult prison when they grow up. It'll be 20 or 30 years before they can breathe the outside air again, if they can live that long, which would be quite an accomplishment. The guard concluded with a belly-shaking laugh, which was interrupted by a voice echoing from a dark cell. "Stop that laughing!" It was a quiet but commanding voice, the one that retained a hint of boyishness. A look of fear crossed the guard's face, though he quickly reverted to a sneer. "This is the biggest pain we got," he said. "His name is Duran. They say he was a leader of a gang of juvenile delinquents on the outside, but here he's just a noisemaker." The guard picked up a bucket of water from the corridor floor with a thin sheet of ice on its surface and heaved the contents into Duran's cell. This is what works best on these kids. Behind the bars, the rich boy had rolled itself up into a ball. This should be enough for them. This should be enough for them to freeze to death. But the water itself freezes again in the early morning. So then their hair and eyelashes and any other hair they got gets coated in ice. Some of them have lost fingers and toes to frostbite. Jesus Christ! The guard laughed again. Duran lay curled up there, but his eyes were shining with such intensity. It was as if he were trying to melt the ice with the heat seething in his breast. Chaim knew those eyes. Those were eyes of a warrior, not just any warrior, but the one in the very front line in a losing battle who watched just for a chance to turn the battle in his favor. And Chaim knew something else, that the system was beginning to unravel. It had kept the people in a state of suppression for 80 long years, but ever since the revolution. But the very moment of its undoing had arrived. The prison fire started that night. "Chaim, it's a coup!" The guard came running to report the situation on the outside. Fire has been set throughout the city, he said. This was, of course, the uprising the government intelligence had anticipated. Martial law was declared, and the government was mobilizing the entire police force and army. Word had come, too, that the ringleaders were already under arrest. One element, however, had been wholly unanticipated. The guard informed him, "The wind is strong tonight." Fanned by unseizable winds, the flames were racing through the city. On orders from the commissioner, "We are not to fight fires in the juvenile prison. Is that clear? Do not engage in firefighting here." In other words, no one will be coming to save the inmates. Damn, okay. They're just gonna burn all these kids alive. "It can't be helped," says the guard. "The army and the fire department have all they can do to put out fires in the city and evacuate the people. They can't spare any men to protect this place, and we've been ordered to join in the rescue effort in town. I guess that means we let the kids out." This was a given, kind of assumed. Locked in the cells with the young inmates who would burn to death. "Don't be ridiculous," the guard shot back. "Kids are all losers. We got into trouble locking them in here, and now we're supposed to let them out? Are you serious?" Chaim replied. "Are you serious? I can't believe you'd say anything that stupid. I'm telling you, they're losers. We don't have time to save them, and we're certainly not going to let them run loose. The commissioner would never allow such a thing." He obviously meant every word he was saying. They were planning to let them die. Yeah, that'll be... Dude, the original Army Corps is so good. The flames were... It's so fucking good. The flames were spreading rapidly, and the screams could be heard throughout the prison. There was no time to appeal directly to the commissioner, and such an appeal would only end in failure, he was sure. Give me the cell keys, Kayam said. You're joking, the guard laughed. That was the only thing to do. Without a word, Kayam landed a punch in the guard's solar plexus. Damn. The guard went down in a heap, and Kayam tore the keys from his belt. The first he opened was Duran's. The boy came out looking confused. Are you one of us? He asked Kayam. Are you with the coop? Not interested, he answered. So why you let us go? Duran asked. I don't like dividing people up into winners and losers. Thanks, Duran said. Sporting a big grin, he took the keys from Kayam and turned away to start opening the other cells. I want you to come back, Kayam said to him from behind. What's that? This is an emergency situation. If someone comes up and the fires are out, I want you to come back here. You kids still haven't finished paying for your crimes. You must be kidding. Not at all, Kayam said. The kids run away, they'll just prove they're right. Once a loser, always a loser. Is that alright with you? Don't you want to show the ones who rule this country that they're wrong, that people can change? We'll never get another chance like this. The coup is going to fail. You can run around all you want, but they're going to catch you in the end. You'll always be branded losers. They might even try to kill you when they catch you. Duran turned to stare at Kayam. The prison was already surrounded by flames. Against this bright red backdrop, Duran's eyes still burned with the fighting spirit of a warrior. The country's political system can't last much longer. The day will come when you kids can leave prison with your heads held high. I absolutely believe that, and because I believe it, I don't want you to see you die for nothing. Kayam turned to Duran to pull the guard up from the floor. Come back after sunrise. With his final admonition to Duran, Kayam hoisted the guard onto his back and charged away. Did they come back? Da-da-dun. These events occurred 50 years ago. An air of freedom pervades the country now that Kayam visits 50 years later. True, he does catch glimpses of the young toughs and juvenile delinquents where the nightlife thrives, but he feels it's just a sign of the free and easy times. An old man calls out to him, "Are you a traveler?" When Kayam nods, the man says with a smile, "You're in luck. We're having a celebration in Revolution Square today. I heard the grand old man of the revolution is going to attend. It'll keep going all night long." A celebration? That's right. I see you're too young to know what happened in the old days. We had a coup 50 years ago on this very day. The coup itself was put down in one night, but the rebel troops set fire all throughout the city, so the rest of us were running like crazy in all directions. Fanned by the wind, the flames quickly enveloped the whole city, and a lot of the city people were stranded on a sandbar downwind. I was one of them. I have my pregnant wife and baby daughter with me, so I couldn't just dive into the river to escape. Before we knew it, sparks were raining down in the sandbar. Figured we were done for. We'd all burned to death as soon as a dry grass caught fire. Just as he was giving up hope, he says, a helping hand was extended to them from the most unlikely source. The kids from the juvenile prison came to help us. They were all skin and bones. Their prison uniforms were falling apart. The prisons have hardly fed them a thing, but they pulled what little strength they had. They saved old folks and children from the sandbar, and they struggled to douse the fires that caught in the dry grass. I saw one boy carry a child across the river and collapse and die the second after he reached the other shore, and some of them were fighting grass fires, were overcome by smoke, and burned to death. They risked their lives to save us. Their own lives are not worth living, but those losers risked their lives to save the lives of the winners like us. When the sun came up and they could be sure the fires were safely put out, the young inmates went back to juvenile prison. Yes, it's true, the place was absolute hell for them, but they just went back inside just the same. Not one of them took advantage of the confusion to run away. They played strictly by the rules, wouldn't you say? We were really moved by this behavior, and people started saying that maybe the losers had good points after all. Maybe once a loser, always a loser was wrong. The whisper spread throughout the country, quietly but surely. Soon, the view emerged that the treatment of juvenile prison inmates should be improved. Another increasingly widely held view was that society ought to welcome ex-inmates more warmly once they had paid for their crimes. Finally, the change in attitude toward loser children took shape of dissatisfaction with the political system that had continued to foster such dictatorship, and 40 years ago, a second coup occurred. The next coup took the shape of a citizens' revolution that involved the masses, and for that reason, it succeeded. That's how the form of government we have today got its start. Listening to the old man's reminiscences, Kayam found himself smiling and nodding, again and again, deep in the mood. The last thing the old man tells me is the name of the hero who led the revolution and became the first president of the new government, Duran. Tens of thousands of people had gathered in Revolution Square. As fireworks sent off, the brass band plays the rousing national anthem. The grand old man of the revolution takes the stage amid the thunderous claps and applause. Duran! Or Duran! Duran! Advanced in years now, and having once since removed himself from the center of the politics, Duran still had a youthful fiery gleam in his eyes. There's no way for him to spot Kayam among the assembled throng, and even if he were to notice him, he never would imagine that this young man, unchanged from 50 years ago, was a temporary prison guard on that fateful night. Still, the old hero proclaims, people can change. There's no winners or losers. His words are greeted with cheers and fireworks, and the excitement of the celebration reaches his peak. Kai makes his way to a stand at the farthest where he buys himself a cup of liquor. He raises his cup to the revolution, who, in furthest vantage point, appears to him no longer larger than a speck. He downs the drink in a single breath. When that intensely strong liquor has passed his throat, it leaves a sweet and mellow aftertaste. Yeah, so pretty much basically, like, he saved a bunch of lives and changed an entire fucking country. In one of his lifetimes, of course. Oh wait, there's a thing in here. Alright, on to the main story now. After I pick up this thing. I ran around this little street all the fucking time. Oh yeah, no, that's why I like doing this, cause like what's going on there? Oh, they're just you know fucking like having an existential moment where they're just experiencing a dream. Nothing to see here, no begging. Cool. All right, I'm leaving. I'm gonna let my voice kind of get a little bit of a rest, and we're gonna continue with the main story because holy shit, dude, that's my one complaint is that I really wish that like these were voiced, because like they fucking like I'm fine with doing it, but after a little bit it's like, dude, I could like hear myself going hoarse fucking like just reading all these. It's like, yeah, I sound like a throat. One of my friends sent me this like Monster Hunter Final Fantasy drama, and I'm like, what? Cool. Yeah, dude, I just wonder what the NPCs think, like, you know, like, okay, Kyan, you know, has these fucking visions, like, do they just, like, watch this guy, like, basically have, like, a fucking, like, existential moment? Because I want a headcanon that he does that, where they just all just fucking just watch him, like... I get why they do it, because pretty much, like, it's supposed to symbolize that, like, you know, okay, like, you're just, you know, kind of like, you know, you're a guy, you don't know who the fuck you are, and then, like, you get these, like, dreams, but yeah, they could have easily just thrown this in a memo.
I speak with Her Majesty's voice.
Don't panic. Let's see how this plays out.
Welcome home, Your Majesty. Thank you all for bringing our queen home to us unharmed.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
I don't trust him at all.
Huh? General, I have caused you concern. I ask that you look at me.
All of our people prayed for your safe return every day you were away from us. I am truly pleased.
Indeed.
You must be tired from your long journey. Please, rest and
This guy is
refresh
so
yourself.
sus, by the way. Yeah, Heihachi never ever left the palace after he sent that tank after you. Heihachi's like, oh my god, my queen, I love you, I miss you, oh my god! Next day. Yeah, oh, you missed it, so, she got a crest. Like a big old, like, family crest on her boobs. But she hides that jewel, so at one point she literally just pulls the jewel off, and Nancy's like, whoa, Tim! And, yeah. Pretty much, like, yeah, no, that's the thing, she's a queen, she's been a queen.
Worthless harlot! And you're angry? Ha! As if you had the right! At last, I have taken control of Numara and destroyed its weak pacifism. I shall never relinquish my hold on it. Ha! I think I'll see just how immortal our queen really is!
This guy's been wanting to take over for a while, and as soon as Ming comes back, he's like...
see now? Numara is mine!
The people of Numara belong to no one!
Oh, you fucked
Your
up!
Majesty!
General, you are such a fool.
Yeah, so if you move that, there's a huge crest, and you get to go and see it at one point.
You planned this!
Those who cannot conquer their desires shall never be fit to lead. How pathetic you are.
What? I'll kill you all!
Hey, take the initiative, I always say.
So I'm gonna be honest, I do not know if this is gonna be another one of those fights where I get baited. However, we're gonna do real fast here in the water. There we go, jamming ring ultra. He's a great fucking guy. I fucking love Sed. Ow, damn. Okay, cool. Oh, okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
She'll be back in 2 turns. If I don't get this fight without the fire charm, I may go back and just quickly go and nab it, like, real fast. I'll see if I have this fight. I just need to go get rid of one of these tanks, and it should go be more manageable.
I'm okay.
My friend randomly messaged me asking how's the fat fuck, and my fat fuck means me. Yeah, here we go. So because they're immortal, they come back after a turn, which is pretty neato. Oh, I forgot he does have double item. That's pretty neato.
Here! Here!
That's really good. Yeah, let's really feel like we can take advantage of that.
Okay.
Now let's pray Ming lives to tell the tale with this round.
I'm okay.
Alright, so I just scrubbed every immortal, so this should be fine. The thing is that the only reason they're not getting healed is because I have it set up so that everyone except for Ming has a fire charm on them, so they don't get one-shotted. I kind of almost wish I put it on set, but I never heal immortals. I will heal mortals depending on the situation. Okay, so we're just gonna keep doing that, alright. Okay, so I think we turn out the worst. And I mean, if I need to heal up fucking someone. Actually, hold on. He has this fucking amazing ass ability called Double Item.
Here! Here!
Like, it isn't doing a bunch of damage, but hey, it's worth it. The only ratio is hers. I hate this. I hate this tweak because it's correct. Ganamon has perfect proportion. She is the golden ratio. Yeah, keep going with those perfect hits there, girlie. Rude. As long as Ming survives this hit, we should be fine. Oh, sweet, thanks for the free healing. landing just in time. Damn, it ain't dead yet? Okay. This isn't a hard fight. It's just one of those where it's like, alright, we were really doing this today. Usually fights against Carcass are kind of a joke, honestly. Okay, I just need like literally like one more hit. I'm just gonna like have everyone set up like this. Spell. Zephyr. Yeah, okay, you're dead. Holding useless. Don't underestimate Grandma over here.
Fire! Fire until they are destroyed!
Okay. I may need to debuff that.
Okay.
Listen, all of them are supposed to be like, you know, fucking like 800 plus years old, or like 1,000 years old and shit, and you know, like they're all like, oh yeah, like you're old, you know, and it's like they look like they're like in their 20s. Alright, I think I need to use buff dumbass at this point. Ooh, spicy. I think it's time to go get the buffs out. Yeah, because I'm only doing like 200 damage with my fucking main guys. I think I need to start buffing these guys a little bit. I like to kind of clear out the entire area and clear out all like the annoying guys before I'm like, alright, time to go buff everybody. This boss really is not that hard, especially since I like kind of took like 20 minutes to go make sure everyone had some like fire skills on them. Alright, oh, there we go! Yeah, you need to use buff man. Honestly, I probably should have buffed her sooner, but, you know, it is what it is.
Okay.
I forgot, like, upping attack in this game is, like, stupid useful. Like, I probably should have buffed everyone before I actually started this whole bullshit, but, you know, it is what it is. Actually, before we do that, I'm just gonna buff everyone real fast and actually no, never mind. We're gonna just I realized I'm like, he's only got like 1900 damage left, so I'm just gonna make sure everyone stays alive so they all get the EXP. Okay, yeah, so next turn he should be dead, as long as I actually time the hits correctly. On today's episode, Twitter is broken. So like, all my messages that were not sent, the trash can just randomly just sent it now. This boss is I'm an annoying fuck. Oh, there's a cannon! Shit! I didn't see the fucking cannon! Whoopsie doodle! This is I am an annoying fuck, and I need to fight you like 40 billion times because I'm super mad I couldn't be the leader of this land. This boss is not hard, it's just one of those little like tedious ass bosses. Like I'm not even bothering like saving Ming right now, cause like she should be fine, she shouldn't die this fucking There we go, she should kill it. No, Grandpa with a gun is gonna destroy it.
Your Majesty, haven't you seen the state of the world? With pacifism as our only policy, we will never be perceived as equals to other nations. In truth, the day is coming soon when we will be forced to capitulate.
Yes, I realized after seeing the world that sometimes power is needed. But General, the power you seek is power only for yourself. That is why it is weak.
Well, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, the problem with this guy is they literally have this here just to wrap up a plot point with this character, because honestly, he has not been relevant for like 2 discs, honestly.
Your Majesty!
That is a very awkward looking
Maya.
NPC.
Oh, you're safe! I'm so sorry we failed to anticipate Kakanas' scheme.
It's not your fault. I was too lenient with him by far. I afforded him the opportunity to run unchecked, and for that, the responsibility is mine.
Don't blame yourself.
He's right. I mean, that general is twisted.
And yet, even he too is another of Gongora's many victims.
Look who's
Yeah,
here.
he does really well by himself.
Your Majesty, may I know the names of your companions?
Oh, yes.
Oh. Baby girl.
Oh, excuse me. I haven't introduced you. These are my loyal ladies-in-waiting. Maya here is my chief lady-in-waiting.
Ladies in
Greetings
waiting.
and welcome to New Mara. We are honored.
Maya, these people have become my dear friends and should be treated with the greatest courtesy. We are
Yeah.
all working for a common goal,
The
and we have
last
an
time he was
urgent
shown
mission
was
to
actually
complete.
A mission? And what of New Mara, Your Majesty?
So very beginning of Disc 2 was the last time we saw him. He hasn't been relevant since.
Your Majesty?
Until I carry out this mission, I shall have to be away from my people. During that time, I shall entrust Numata to the care of my ladies.
To us, Your Majesty?
Please do as I would. As you have been closest to me, I believe you are capable of what I ask. I shall return as swiftly as possible.
Yes, my queen. While Your Majesty is away, we shall protect New Mara. We shall not fail.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, Kakanis is like kind of one of the drawbacks on this game. He's the only one that they kind of fuck up a little bit in terms of like characterization personally. Queen's loneliness. So we're actually getting, I guess, one for Ming finally. We're getting some more dreams from not just Kaim. 1,000 years can change everything, including the landscape. Queen Ming surveys her capital from the palace window. The panoramic view is like a great history book. 500 years, 600 years. The volcano towering in the distance, which used to spill clouds of smoke, went dormant 700 years ago. Once part of the sea, the inlet was reclaimed 500 years ago to become a village for the fisher folk who spent their days on their lives on the ocean. The river once arched grandly across the landscape, but the deluge that occurred 300 years ago became the occasion for major flood-controlled construction in the form of a perfectly straight channel. Where the river used to curve, there is now an oxbow lake in which reeds grow in population, and the banks provide the people with a rich natural bounty. Even the area that formerly was a barren, rock-strewn wasteland became a vast fruit-bearing garden thanks to the irrigation project that was undertaken 200 years ago. The mountain that was the center of the people's religious faith was enveloped in sky-scorching flames 100 years ago. Formerly swathed in a thick green covering and seen as the home of the gods, the towering peak was transformed into a bare rock pile by a forest fire that burned for 3 days and nights. Almost everything that lived in the forest, birds and beasts of course, but many people too, died in the flames. The people in the village below mourned the horrible transformation of their god's abode, but now, 100 years later, the mountain is as green as ever. The people of the village and the people in the mountain still tell the story of the fire, but today's children can hardly imagine that the rich green slopes were once charred and blackened. Restored though to its original green lusciousness, of course, the mountain could well be enveloped in flames again 100 years from now, 200 years from now, or even tomorrow. Even if such should be charred again, however, trees would sprout anew, the birds and beasts and insects chased away by the fire would return to their homes, and given enough time, the mountain would be covered in green as before. Such are the workings of nature. Given enough time, the dizzying stretches of time. But no. To become dizzy at the thought of vast stretches of time is a privilege of the ordinary folk, those who have no choice but to devote all their energies to living in the present. How fortunate they are to be able to look back to the past of 1,000 years ago, like an old man telling a child a fairy tale, once upon a time, a long, long time ago. And how truly fortunate one would be to be able to tell the story of its country's future as a rosy dream, the way children relate their own dreams of the future with flashing eyes, and to entrust that dream to the next reign. Ming stands at the window like this every morning. It is a special day for her, when she thinks about the livelihood of her subjects, watches for signs of enemy intrusion, and ponders a measure she must wish to adopt. She has done this every day without fail for the past 1,000 years. The country has flourished. The people no longer starve as they did when she first took the throne. Future historians will no doubt sing the praises of Ming's 1,000-year reign. She will be extolled as a 1,000-year-old queen, and her noble figure will be vividly engraved in people's memories. Cherishing these memories of her, however, people will die long before she does. The historians who praise her too, instead of witnessing her reign to end, will themselves become a part of history. Ming has been a queen for the past 1,000 years, and probably will be for the next 1,000 years as well. Her Majesty is in excellent spirits again this morning, I trust, she hears a voice behind her. Her gaze is still fixed on the city below. Ming answers, "You are early today." Not so early if Her Majesty herself is observing the smoke rising from the cauldrons of her people. She need not to ascertain the identity of the smiling face behind her. It belongs to Nagram, her senior minister. The smile is courtly, genial, but within those deep, narrowed eyes she knows that resides a dark gleam. "Today, I will accompany Your Majesty in the inspection of the troops. You? Yes, owing to a slight change in assignments today. Is that so? I am hardly up to the task, but I will do my best if Her Majesty will allow me to serve her in this capacity. I beg her permission." With her back still turned to Nagram, Ming gives a silent nod. Ah, yes, she thinks to herself with a bitter smile. Their plan goes into action today. Ming has sensed for a very long time that Nagram is up to no good. He apparently has seized command of certain units of the Royal Guard. Scattered throughout the city, too, his people are lying low, ready to set fires as soon as his orders come down. No doubt about it, today, when the regular ceremonial inspection of the troops is scheduled to take place, it is the perfect day for a coup. When Nagram leaves, Ming enters her office and summons Hans, the most senior of her ministers, a true elder statesman, and her most trusted confidant. Hans, who sports a luxurious beard, has served Ming for over 40 years. "Your Majesty, I understand Nagram was here earlier." "Yes, apparently he is to accompany me to the inspection of the troops." This is all she has to tell him. Stroking his bushy beard, Hans says, "That means they've run out of patience." "I know," replies Ming. "I'm sure they can't wait to get started." What a fool Nagram is. He has absolutely no idea that Your Majesty has been letting him set his own trap. If he were smart enough to realize that, he would be taking at least 2 more years to make his preparations. Then he would have had more power at his disposal. He can link up not just with the Royal Guard, but also the main body of the army and the police force. He can conspire with external enemies and arrange for them to invade just as the ceremonies were getting underway. Then his coup would probably succeed. If he had long-range vision to include the wealthy merchants and the intelligentsia among his allies, he might even be able to mount a revolution that would overthrow the monarchy itself. That's what I would do if I were Nagram. As long as I was undertaking a coup, I would think more about that, much at least. And his smile could not hide the fact that all this talk of successful revolution is making him uncomfortable. Her Majesty is unmatched by any enemy except one. Her Majesty herself. He may be right, Ming thinks. If she had an enemy with an eternal life like hers, who was willing to devote all the time needed to planning a revolution, be it a whole century or even 2, the result would surely go beyond revolution and develop into a full-scale war. Human lives, however, are limited in duration, and because of this limitation, humans rush to achieve results before they are ready. Nagram is one of them. If he could live 200 years, to say nothing of 1,000, he would not be trying to take up arms at such an in-between point of time. "Still," says Hans, "I have to admit that Nagram has extended his forces far more successfully than I ever imagined. What have I been doing all this time? I am utterly ashamed of myself. Don't let it bother you, Hans. Thanks to your inattention, we will be able to smoke out any more rats." Ming gives a satisfied chuckle. Nor is this mere bravado on her part. They chose not to arrest Nagram at an earlier stage, but allowed him to swim free for a while in order to take this opportunity to net the entire force of rebels both inside and outside the palace. "Yes, I know," Hans replies and goes on to explain the plan for crushing the coup. His plans are impeccable. The coup has virtually no chance of succeeding. All they need to do is carry out a wholesale arrest of the rebel Royal Guard units that rise up in the palace and the partisans lurking in the city. It will be some time before any more individuals with outsized ambition show up again. "This will be our first purge in 15 years, Hans remarks. "Has it been that long?" "It certainly has, Your Majesty. This fine beard of mine was jet black the last time." Hans commands the troops that put down the coup 15 years ago. Loyal, courageous, and cool-headed, he is the ideal staff officer. Without a doubt, he is one of the best military advisors Ming has had over 1,000 years on the throne. How selfish of me, Hans. I should have let you retire years ago. That is out of the question, Your Majesty. Serving you is my life. I am deeply honored to have this opportunity to be of service. Dude, she is. I mean, she's been doing this shit for 1,000 years. It's pretty like you're not gonna go get the fucking. You're not gonna pull the wool over her eyes. Honestly, true. Not even the superb retainer could be with her through all eternity. In another 5 years, Tenmo's hands, like the other royal retainers of the past, will be laid to rest to the sound of military cannons. It is always like that, just as the ambitious ones rush to make their mark before they cannot live forever. The loyal ones in whom she had placed her complete confidence stake their very lives on serving her because they cannot live forever. They carve their names in a single line of history, and then they depart from Ming for the rest of eternity. Ming herself, though, goes on living. Eternal youth, immortality. So this is the dream of humanity, is it? None of them knows the loneliness of eternal life. When Hans next addresses Ming, there is a new urgency in his voice. About the troops that will quell the uprising. I will command the ones outside the palace. Do I have Her Majesty's permission to put command of the interior palace guards in the hands of my young protege, Yan? Ah yes, Yan. He may be young, but he's extremely capable. I have nurtured him carefully. I know he will serve Her Majesty splendidly after this old soldier is gone. I'd like to give him the opportunity to distinguish himself in the current emergency. Ming herself is fully aware of Yan's understanding qualities. Young as he most certainly is, he far excels the other chamberlains in both the civil and the military arts. He is undoubtedly the prime candidate to succeed Hans as Ming's top general. What are Her Majesty's thoughts on the matter? Alright then, let him take charge. Her Majesty has my unbounded thanks. I am sure Yan himself will be deeply moved to learn that he has earned Her Majesty's confidence. Hans all but prostrates himself before her, an expression of relief on his face at having obtained Ming's permission. But still he continues, Her Majesty has been wary of Nagram for a very long time. True, she says. Meanwhile, this old soldier of yours has no idea whatever that Nagram might be planning a rebellion. I am deeply ashamed to confess it now, but to me it seems like the very model of loyalty. How is it that Her Majesty was able to see Nagram's actual disloyalty? Ming only smiles without answering his question. The same thing happened at the time of the coup 15 years ago, Hans continues. The only reason that we were able to suppress the revolt before it even got started was that Her Majesty saw it coming before anyone else. Then as now I was blind to the traitor's plot. You left and then came back! If you say so, Hans. Has her memory forgotten? Well, it was so long ago. Ming tries to evade the issue. There's no way she could have forgotten. During the coup 15 years ago was her most trusted retainer. Whoa, hi. When she first broached the subject to Hans and the others, warning them to be on their guard against the man, all without exception insisted that he above all was beyond reproach. In the end, Ming's suspicions proved to be correct. She knew. However, faithfully he carried out her orders. However, warmly he swore his loyalty. She knew these days, however, she had begun to wonder on occasion if that's something is to be grateful for. The landscape is not the only thing that changes in 1,000 years. People's hearts also change. After numberless meetings and partings over the centuries, Ming has come to realize the fragility, the evanescence, of trust. She no longer trusts anything in words, neither can she trust everything in action. She knows by looking at a person's eyes, that way she can tell everything, to a mysterious and disheartening degree. In the eyes of all those who would bring harm to this country, without exception, there resides a dark gleam. It is there in all of them, the man plotting a coup, the man secretly involved with foreign enemies, the man fattening his purse with heavy taxes wrung from the people, the female spy who seduces high ministers to extract state secrets, the man who accepts huge bribes from merchants, eager for the joy of becoming an official purveyor to the royal household. Neither their words nor their deeds give them away. Often the man himself has no idea of the misdeeds he will later commit. But Ming can tell. Only Ming, who has lived for 1,000 years. The silent voices tell her, be careful of this man. Don't take your eyes off that woman. This was not the case in her youth, but having repeatedly tasted the own bitter experience of betrayal, having been assailed by her own regrets and self-reproach, Ming has learned to doubt. Ming can see what no one else could see, the dark gleam deep in the eyes. This has enabled her to ward off a variety of disasters before they could start. The kingdom has managed to flourish because Ming has warded it off and chosen to doubt than to believe. This is the best course for her to follow as queen. It is, however, an infinitely lonely way to live, so she's like, basically doubting everybody, so she has no friends. Negram's coup fails in an instant. The rebel units of the Royal Guard, who draw their swords against Ming during inspection of the troops in the plaza, become the prey of Yan and his men, who have been hiding around the perimeter. Meanwhile, the anti-rebel forces, under Hannah's command, pounce on Negram's followers, who have been gathering to set fire to the city and arrest them without resistance. Poor Negram grovels on the ground begging for his life. To him, Ming says only, "I grant you the right to die with honor." A soldier lays a sword before Negram. Wordlessly, Ming conveys to Negram that it's time for him to take his own life. She turns on her heels and returns to the palace under armed escort. Well, for the record, unless if I go and actively look out for them, I don't think there's actually any more automatic dreams. This will keep everyone from having thoughts of fomenting a rebellion. For a while, at least, the peace in the kingdom has been preserved, but it will not last forever. When the memory of Negram's coup begins to fade, 10 years from now, or 20, or even 100, another man with ambition will emerge as has happened so many times before. It is the role of the queen to accept this endlessly repeating cycle, Ming tells herself, sighing. Ming is standing in the palace window, surveying the streets below when Yang enters the room. "Your Majesty, I'm here to report that Negram successfully took his own life a short while ago." "Oh, did he dispatch himself with dignity?" "He did. Traitor as he was, he died in a way befitting a commanding general. Returned his body to his family with all due ceremony." She turns and stares straight at Yan, whose spine stiffens under the onslaught of her gaze, and then he sees it without a doubt. The dark gleam flashes within her eyes for one fleeting moment. So Yan is another one, is he? She thinks with a bitter smile. Unable to fathom the meaning of her smile, Yan is at a loss for words. "Thank you for your efforts," Ming says to him. Suppressing a sigh, she returns to the window again. The sky stretches overhead in an expanse of blue. The only thing unchanged for the past 1,000 years may be the blue of that sky, but still, I am the queen, Ming tells herself, meditating on the role. Meditating. I can't fucking talk. Am I the one who rules this country and maintains the people's happiness? She gazes long hard at the sky, rising to her full proud height. "Oh look, it's Queen Ming!" The little boy in the alleyway below the castle spots Ming and begins waving at her wildly. "Queen Ming! Queen Ming!" The woman, the boy's mother no doubt, charges out of the doorway, bowing humbly at Ming before scolding the boy for his rude behavior. Ming herself, however, waves back at him, a placid smile on her face. Smiling joyfully at this unexpected response from Her Majesty the Queen, the boy starts jumping up and down, shouting, "Long live Queen Ming! Long live Queen Ming!" Ming stares again at the sky above. Unchanged though it has been for 1,000 years, the blue of the sky penetrates more deeply into her eyes and heart than it ever did in the days of her youth. The end. Yeah, pretty much, unless there's like 9 more of these left, but I have to actively go and look for them to actually go and trigger them. So I'm gonna do that probably over the next couple of streams.
We should take the white boa. The white boa?
If it's a ship you need, we have the Nautilus.
To get through the ice fields, we'll need a ship that can break the ice with its hull. And the white boa can do that.
Well, it's true the Nautilus doesn't have as much strength. She'd probably be no match against the ice. I guess she wouldn't be right for this one.
Oh, I meant no insult to the Nautilus.
That's why I
She
like
has
doing
shown
them, because I like how they kind of,
maneuverability.
show
And
how
we shall have
the
need
life
of, her
of
again.
immortals, honestly.
Please, lend us your help when we need it.
Yeah, sure. Leave it to me.
We should be able to berth the Nautilus inside the white boa. That way we could use either ship when needed.
That's true. I shall go ahead of you to the harbor to give instructions for our departure.
Ming,
What is it?
will you go back? Not to our world, but to your country. You must choose at some point. A 1,000 years is a long time.
No shit, Sherlock.
There are many important things to be done in this world. Kaim. What will you do?
They're all having the realization of shit when this is over. What the fuck do we do? Alright, since we definitely were here for a little while. This is my one complaint. Titties, boobies, clunkers. Everyone just like boobs. Fun bags indeed. I just like how like everybody like in this fucking palace has like the most stoddiest looking outfits. Shit, if I knew that we were gonna be able to go explore the palace, I would have not like actually gone and grabbed all the shit. So, did everyone here see how she side-eyed fucking Jansen? She's definitely staying for that man. That man is literally getting the best titties in the fucking game. Like, to think that literally, like, Jansen's gonna get the best titties in the fucking game. Just watch. Cool, I'm gonna explore around this palace real fast because this was all not open when I was down here last time, so I'm gonna like kind of start striding real fast. Also, look at these outfits, man. He really is getting the best titties. Like, Kaim is like, you know, like, he's gonna probably end up with Sarah. And I mean, those titties are pretty good too, but like, damn, like, Jansen really is getting the best titties in the fucking game. Dude, I missed like a whole bunch of treasure chests. Wow, what the fuck? I'm checking out the entirety of this palace because, like, yeah, last time we were here, we were getting, like, fucking, like, chased by everything, so... That's the thing, is that Ming has the better titties, in my opinion. Now... God, I hate opening these fucking cupboards. Cook is literally an annoying kid. Cook is literally an annoying kid who causes all the events in fucking Disc 3. Because she and her brother could not fucking stand still. Like, honestly, the events of Disc 3 didn't happen because Cook and Mac thought that, like, you know, oh, hey, I'm gonna go be an annoying fucking child and, like, fucking ruin everything. I'm just wondering why they put like 5 save points in here. Yes, literally, I am 100% convinced, nobody convinced me otherwise, that the events of Disc 3 would not have happened. Majority of the events of Disc 3 would not have happened if those damn kids just stayed where the fuck they belong, and fucking Kayam and Sarah were actually better at fucking, you know, like watching children. Like, holy shit, like, y'all are fucking terrible. Like I said, Kayam and Sarah would unironically take their fucking kids to go see Cocaine Bear, and take all the kids to go see Cocaine Bear, and then when they go in and complain, are like, Grandma, Grandpa, why are the world just so, like, you know, like, violent and stuff? What is going on? Dude, there's 3 women. Seth as well. Seth counts as a woman. I think I grabbed everything on all these floors so we can leave the palace now. As well, I actually didn't realize I did not heal the party before they gave it back to you, so I'm gonna quickly just run over here and do a little rest. Yeah, I think I'm missing like 9 dreams at this point. I can take a look real fast. Oh, I just realized that Ming is not in the party. I was trying to set up all the skills and everything. right? Like, you know... Holy bananas, this place is huge. It's the same location. I think it just has two openings. Oh, well, I guess we can leave. Yeah, like, honestly, like, you know, alright, talk about, you know, complain about, you know, having like 50 billion discs, but like, at least, you know, this game is finished. Agreed. That's how I feel with it, is that I would rather a game have like 40 billion like 5 different discs and like contain a bunch of content than like, you know, go and have a day one patch, then you gotta go buy a bunch of DLC. Like, you never realize just how like unfinished like a bunch of crap is these days. And like the industry is just it's just kind of unfortunately how it is. Like, they'll put a bunch of like, now granted there is stuff where it's like, alright, you get like more than enough like content. The DLC is just icing on the cake. Like, for example, I'd say Xenoblade 3 is an example of like DLC that, like, you know, now granted, Sega probably, you know, Sega does it a little bit better where they give, you know, your whole fucking story, you know, for free and shit, but also like Xenoblade 3 gives you like a 100-hour fucking game, a full-fledged story. At this point, like, the DLC, the Rex thing is like kind of fan service, but I understand as well kind of like why people might be upset, because basically the ending is like a huge bomb that gets dropped. Like, that Dark Souls post is fucking killing me. Because, like, honestly, I was kind of joking about it. I do think, like, you know, if Dark Souls had like a limited amount of saves, but also at the same time, it's like, all right, if you need somewhere, there's bonfires in like Bloodborne. There's that one area, so it's like, yeah, you can always just go to warp on back. That's my thought on it. But like, there have been moments where like I've had to watch like Trash King's like screen while he went to pee real fast. Eh, just do what you like. Yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, the reason why it even has, you know, paid DLC is I don't think Monolith wants to have that. I think yeah, that's why I can't necessarily go and get too mad at Monolith Soft, because here's the thing, they're putting a whole ass game out there. Their games are like okay, if you're hustling, maybe you'll get through it in like 60 hours. Like, Xenoblade 3 took me about 77. Cool. And like, you know, okay, I'd say it's mostly a complete game. Like, the thing is that the last, like, 20 minutes of it just give a whole bunch of bullshit that it's like, alright, they're gonna need to, like, kind of talk about this in DLC, but, like, you know, okay, another example of that is Xenoblade 2. Like, Xenoblade 2 is a full-fledged game. It is fully complete, but there's, you know, extra cool stuff, too. Like, for example, like, you get Torna. I'll make some rings real fast. And, like, Torna, like, you know, it's obviously fan service for, like, fucking those who really like, those who really like Xenoblade 2, and it explains to you, obviously, what happens in Chapter 9, you know, why Jin is the way that he is, why, you know, he's, like, why he doing what he doing, and, like, that's why I like it. And then, you know, obviously, Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 1 was a complete fucking game. And then after that, you know, you had, Future Connected, which obviously ties into Xenoblade 3. But, like, that's the thing, is that they're all, like, fucking, like, they're all tied together, but you're also not sitting here getting, you know, like... I'm talking like here's what I personally think is considered an unfinished game. A good example of that, Final Fantasy 15. Personally, I think that game was completely unfinished on launch. It didn't have its story was a fucking mess. I want to say it probably did go and have a day one patch. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but like, yeah, pretty much like. I'd say anything that's like the story is not fully like taken through from beginning to end, for lack of a better word, where you're honestly you're missing like half of the like content. The problem with Final Fantasy 15 is that they literally put everything into like 5 different things of media. I don't know, like, honestly, there's that. Anything that has, like, a day one patch, you know, where it's like, alright, we need to, like, fix, like, these obvious fucking problems that are, like... They should have handled this shit, like, you know, obviously beforehand, but they fucking didn't. You guys are the worst at watching these children. Like, holy shit, bro. And what's really weird is that I don't feel like it was announced that fucking early. Or what area of the deck are we in? Okay, so we're the pilot house, okay. I'm just exploring the ship while talking about... Yeah, like, I hate to use it as, like, like, you know, obviously example number 1, but it's, like, the biggest, like... It's the most gross example of, like, a game that's unfinished, and they kind of made sure to, like, add, like, everything to it, and it's just like, okay, so there's Ming. That's probably a cutscene. I'm gonna explore the rest of the ship, though, real fast. Like, here's the thing, is that 15 does some things right. Personally, I will defend the open worldness of it is fun. I like the hunts. Even though I personally do think 12 did it much better, but as someone who, like, you know, literally... Oh god, I remember this fucking area. Fuck this area. I realize where we are. I'm triggered now. I'm triggered. I remember all the robots, y'all. And like, it's one of those where it had like good ideas, but like piss poor execution. And I still wonder to this day how we let that happen. Exactly. That's the problem with it, is that like it feels like it's announced too early when it was not. Even though it wasn't, and it's just like, it was just like kind of a mess of a game. Because personally, I was not impressed whatsoever with that game. I wanted it to end. I thought it was like worse than 13, and I know everybody hates 13, but I fucking I love 13. Even though, like, there's a lot of things I don't necessarily... Okay, oh yeah, so this is the engine area where you escape to. This is where she knocked out Jansen. But, like, yeah, everything was unfinished. Then they try to supplement the finishing by, like, fucking putting, like, 20 different things, you know, out to go and be like, oh, here's what y'all missed, you guys. You missed this for the unfinished stuff, you know. Oh, yeah, here's a movie. Here's, like, you know, Prompto going from a fat kid to a skinny little twink. Like, it's, like, one of those where it's, like, it's not a bad game. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, you have to go through that entire section I just kind of, like, waltzed on through and kind of dicked around in a stealth manner, so it's really bad. And it fucking sucks. This area of the game fucking sucks when you first come to it, but, like, now that it's like, oh yeah, you're actually on the queen's side, and she doesn't think you're a fucking intruder, like, this actually is not too fucking terrible. But, like, I just didn't like how they were, like, trying to over-fix this, and they kind of just dropped the ball super hard. Yeah, like, they showed it in a book. Like, there's, like, and also, let's not forget the fact that there was, like, 5 things of DLC planned. That was probably as long as the story of the game. That they didn't even do, like, all of it. They literally, like, fucking, they ran, like, basically the last DLC got fucking canceled. Wasn't it, like, wasn't it the Arwen DLC that got canceled? Or maybe they put I think Arwen was the last one that came out. I think. I just remember that it was, like, there was, like, so much going on. They added, like, 5 different things in hopes to go and actually go and save this shit. And they fucked it up so bad. And... like, it's such a, like, that's why I'm like, I am praying these fuckers learn from their mistakes with 15, and 16 is more of a banger. I'm giving it the benefit and hoping to God that, you know, it's like, alright, we actually fixed our shit this time. But I'm not totally sure yet, because there was, like, so much wrong with 15. Yeah, okay, Arden. I actually heard that was a good actual, like, final part, and it actually explains, like, him as a major bad guy. But that was another thing, is that you should not need a DLC to explain why your bad guy is a good bad guy. Because when I played fucking Final Fantasy 15, I thought he sucked. I thought he was a terrible bad guy, and I still don't like him as a bad guy. But, like, apparently the DLC fixes it, but the DLC should not be there to go and fucking fix it. And that's, like, my one worry with, like, fucking Final Fantasy 16. Alright, so we have Jansen here. He's probably gonna talk about the fact of, hey, you were definitely eyeing me when you said you were staying in this world, girl. That's the thing, is that, like, it's easier to trust Yoshi P because he actually, like, knows how to fucking tell a story. And he actually is, like...
Do you really mean it?
He's the reason why Square Enix is, like, you know, actually making Boku bucks, let's be honest.
I can't say what Gongra
they put these dumb projects out on Yoshi P's fucking, like, Final Fantasy 14 fucking money.
Remain in this world for his own selfish ends.
Not about him. About you. Don't you want to stay and save Namara?
There's something else to stay for, too.
Gee, I wonder what that is. I actually like how they heavily ship these two together. That's what I really like this one a lot. I really like the ship a lot. It's really cute. Like, he's just being a silly little guy and he bags this dude. You know he bags her. See? I told you. He fucking bags her for being a silly little guy, okay? I am proud of him. Also, yo! I had a feeling as soon as she eyed him in that last cutscene, they were gonna do something. Dude, you know, he bagged that by being a goofy fucking dude, okay? Like, he is such an example of, he literally bagged her by being a silly little guy. And I understand the scene is supposed to be like, I know the scene's supposed to be all like, oh my god, romantic and, you know, kind of sad and all that, but also I'm like, dude, he's just being a silly guy here. He literally bagged a girl by being a silly little guy.
I'm so glad I met you.
Aw. To think that in 1,000 years, she fell for the goofy dude. He's like, dude, I was just Bert.
A bum? Like me? I'm sorry. I'm not used to this, you know, getting serious like this, and well, I mean, you. See, you're queen. You got a castle. It's,
he bagged her by being a goof.
Own your own country. You know, I'm serious when I fall in love. I mean, you know, I don't play around like that. I mean
he's the best character in this game.
Kind of irresistible. But see, I never thought you'd get serious about me, and I gotta tell you, I mean, you being immortal, and I'm just, you know, just a regular guy, you know, good sense of humor, you know, but
I'm a silly guy, yo.
You, see, I don't know what to say. Help me.
Shut up, you're being goofy.
So queens shouldn't fall in love?
Oh, shit. I'm so glad they actually didn't just gloss over this, like, obviously he really likes her, and she kind of likes him for being a silly guy. Me and the bad bitch that I pull by being a silly Billy! Do it! Do it! Dude, imagine the riz on this guy. This guy has so much riz. He literally bagged it. He literally got an immortal queen fucking, like, wanting his ass, okay? What are you doing, buddy?
Okay. I know you're there.
Dude, imagine Cook and Mac being like, dude, he got riz! He got riz! What did they all just say he got riz, like, in the background?
You two little snoops.
That's sweet. He's blushing. You're so cute. Jackson.
Ow! What are you, Seth's sister?
Aunt Ming, this is the guy for you?
Yes, he's a goofy
He's the only one for me.
Yes! Get his ass! He's got riz! Get him! Yeah, he's like, holy shit, women actually want me! Dude, he literally has so much riz, he pulled immortality. This man's got so much riz. Let me see if I can find this so I can be like, me and the bad bitch that I pulled by seeing it being a silly guy. I cannot believe he literally got. I cannot believe that he literally pulled Riz. He literally, he's got so much Riz. I cannot believe this man has that much Riz. This is really backed immortal by being a silly little guy. He literally backed immortal by being a silly little guy. Dude, like literally.
If we got Mama's engine on my Nautilus, we'd be in business.
What kind of business? Wow. Must she really go that fast?
Yeah, she'll be faster than the white boa. Ha! And she'll be able to jump again.
Whoa, amazing! Then we'll really be the flying pirates. That's so cool.
Riz on this man. I cannot believe, like, he's got the most Riz out of the entire party, dude. Alright, so where the fuck do we go now? See if there's anything that's kind of fun and dandy that we can do real fast. Okay, so, yeah, alright, so we are pretty much at the point, it's the point of no return, Because if you... Let me see. Alright, so... Fuck, there's a lot of side content. Well, actually, no. So this is like a... Here's what's weird, is that, like, once you enter this area, you cannot leave. However, what that means is pretty much like, you fight through this dungeon. When that's done, then you have the Tower of Mirrors, which apparently is the final dungeon. Like, I'm trying to think where the fuck do I go next, honestly, because I'm just like, ooh, where the fuck do I go now? Pretty much what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to form some rings that are better. I gotta use the restroom. So Jansen has like turbo rig.
Of course he does.
He's got Turbo Riz. He bagged an immortal by being a silly Billy.
Oh yeah, Ming. Yes. It's true. Where are you at in the game? Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just saying maybe do the major side quest, but I don't know. It's up to you. That's been like reading. Getting a bit of like Trails in the Sky a third. How it is. Oh shit. I got nothing to say right now. So I'll be watching though, so hopefully I can try to keep you entertained for like a few seconds while she's peeing. Oh shit. I think she's about to come back, so heck yeah. It's a king. Oh shit. It's me. Whoa. Crazy. It's me.
What the fuck I want to do? Like, do I just want to go straight to Grand Staff and complete the game? I need a crusher ring real fast. Alright, so what happens if I make a planet? How much peace my wraps can I buy? Alright, let me see if I can make anything else here. flux ring. I spent like $30,000 on materials, so that's kind of cool. I have like I'm gonna waste all my money. It's fine. Okay, so we have this. So I'm trying to figure out what side quest to do. So, oh yeah, let me go to Ming's room real fast. Well, it's a guest area that I need to go. Cool. So you have to check the harp in Ming's room for this, boss thing. Simp. Okay, so you have the harp, so let me look at where the fuck you're supposed to go with the harp. Alright, so this place called Numara Atoll, which, like, it's an area that's, like, apparently really good for leveling up, A, and B, it also contains a super boss, I think. So Pilot House. Pretty much. Like, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to go and get to it. Cool. So we're gonna go see how hard this boss is, like, cause I do not know what we're gonna be running into real fast. Let me see if I can. Holy East. Ooh, I'm not sure I could win this one. Worth a shot, though. Shit, there is something that I could go and get somewhere else too. Like, there's like a few areas to go at this point. Alright, let's see how bad these enemies are here. It's like, I don't know if there's any items here. There's probably an easy way to farm these little fuckers. Gotta be.
Hey, take the initiative, I always say.
What a pretty motherfucker. I almost have Jansen to a level where I can inflict groundus on everything, and then things will go so much faster. Yeah, I figured that's what he was gonna use. Yes, that's what I want. Level 7 black magic. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, like, if you look at how the back row is, like, the back row only took about 200 damage right there, but the front row took, like, 1,700, so... God damn. Kayam took like 1,700 damage there. Like, that's the thing, is that guy is a fucking glass cannon. Ooh, a treasure. Hey. Like, oh man, there's a few things I need to go and get in this game too. There's something called the Nullify All Ailments, which basically is what you need on all of your immortals, so they all stop taking like a quadrillion fucking HP of damage. Aw, oh, damn, it's level 8 that he knows. Man. Wailed on right now. Okay, did it right before he could do his attack.
That was close.
Fuck!
If it's a fight you want, you got it.
Oh, it's these little fuckers. Okay, these guys are fucking annoying.
I'm out of here.
Trying to think what else I could do right now, because it is kind of late. The Pete Davidson of this game! I call it Pete Davidson! Alright. my god, that's so funny. Okay, so here's how you go and get the fucking nullify all elements fucking shit. It's fucking stupid. Like, oh my god, do I even want to do this shit? Look for this fucking thing. Northern shore of it. Okay, so we need to go to the northern coast of Ura. So, how the fuck do you get up there? So we're right here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Where does he land? Let me see. No, okay, so... Okay, so look along the southern mountains. Okay, so look along the southern mountains. It's maybe here? So apparently this is how you get to the Keelon village. I may look for this, like, maybe on, like, I don't know what to do, because it's like, they do not tell you very well. Hold on. I think I'm gonna call it here, and I'm probably gonna have to go and look for a, like, video that shows me where it is, because this is not properly explained very well, and I want to go and get a couple of little extra things. I'm not gonna do everything, but, like, I want to go and get this, maybe fight a couple of super bosses, but also I'm just kind of like, maybe I should just go to Grandstaff and just fucking beat this shit. So I'll think on it, but yeah, like, the one thing that I do not like about the game is, like, it's bad fucking, like,